you all looking so damn scared? Like you're going to a funeral. I'm the one fighting.
But fear is a choice.
So let me fucking out!
Fear whatsoever of anybody or anything.
Yes, sir. What's up, Fearless fam? Welcome to the No Fear Pod, where we praise and slander everything that isn't just culturally relevant, important in our lives, but in yours as well. I'm your host, Glenn, here with the co-host, Semaj.
What up, world?
And we back, baby.
We back.
We back. We are back. Back to business, baby. And we here with a good guest, a special friend, you know, the homie of ours. You know what I'm saying? This is Taurean.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Thanks for coming on, bro. Thanks for coming
Thanks
on.
for having me. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. This man been cutting my hair for over almost 10 years or something like that. You been cutting my hair for a minute.
Yeah, because I've been a barber since 2009?
2009?
Yeah, so I've been here for 15, 16 years.
Oh, yeah. So you definitely been cutting my hair for 10 years.
You've been cutting hair so long, you don't remember cutting mine.
No, I know. That's crazy. Usually I remember everybody, but I don't
No, you
know.
cut my hair like once or twice. You cut my hair.
That's crazy.
You had on the LeBrons. I remember you had on LeBrons when I cut.
I always got to
you
pair
cut
them on.
Yeah. You cut my hair. That was the last time.
Yeah.
You dope, so I got to represent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Man, so today's topic we got for y'all, we bring it to y'all today. We told y'all we'll be back with it when we did the first time. We back today with mental health part 2. And specifically we're discussing mental health in a grand scheme of black men. Right? Because black men for the longest we've had this stigma of, you know, not being in touch with our inner selves, with our inner emotions, without, going to therapy or just overall expression, humanly expressions of ourselves, man. And, what I want to do is I want to give us a task today. I want to give us a challenging task of trying to figure out why we have this stereotype on black men.
Okay.
Now, I understand that none of us are experts we're not experts in psychology, even sociology, neurology, anthropology, all that stuff. But I feel through personal experience, like personal anecdotes and open dialogue, we can come to some type of understanding of exactly what it is that has held black men back from pretty much seeking mental health.
Yeah.
In a sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, without further ado, I'm just throw it out to the panel. What do y'all think is, whatever contributing factor y'all think is holding back black men from, seeking help, therapy, expressing themselves, etc.?
Let's go first, though.
For me, I feel like it's kind of in the sense of, it's almost like how they say, keeping up with the Joneses, kind of sense of. So it's like today in this generation, even like in my generation, is like black men, even growing up, like when you fall, get up, dust it off, or quit crying, like you'll be okay, shake it off. Or even with the sense of like now, like with social media, is like you have to keep up this image or whatever to like have like the girl that you want or this type of lifestyle that you want to please other people, and then not knowing that the insecurities like in your life, like for like instance, like Mac Miller says on the song, he was like, I'm wearing a designer to cover my insecurities. And that plays a lot of part in the black community too, because like everybody wants to fit in, but everybody trying to hide like what they dealing on the outside looking in.
Okay.
Wow.
Hold on. So before you go to so you feel like what's contributing to it is sort of like you say, it's more so an internal conflict within ourselves. of
It's-
accepting ourselves in a way.
Yeah, because media portray us that we have to have like money, cars, clothes, and all that other stuff. So like even growing up, be like, oh, I want to be on TV. Like that's every kid dream. Like I want to be on TV, or I want to be an NBA player, I want to be a football player. So in order to get these things, you have to get these things, and then come with that.
Only like 3 to 4 things that we usually grow up want to be.
Yeah,
It's never like really a doctor or a lawyer or even a therapist.
No,
It's usually the same.
because in our like you said, like in our culture or in our community, like that get frowned upon. That never get talks about because like we told, like as men, we told to tough up, be quiet. Like men don't have feelings. Men don't care. Like that's a woman thing. That's a woman trait. Like you being soft. Like but like I'm here today to tell you like that's false.
Yeah.
So that's like for that part of stuff. Like that's what I have right now. Like
Wow. I 110% agree with that. You know, for a long time, you know, us as, you know, as black men, we was always, you know, taught pretty much to double back on that. Yeah, we was taught to, you know, hey, it's okay, shrug it off. You know, it was rarely that time you had, rarely as a kid growing up, you had too many people to talk to or to look up to go for help. Or, you know, anything like that. You know, if we was ever, most of the people we had to look up to was, you know, the bad people on the block or whatever, that we was always following those people, thinking that was cool to do that. And I feel like that has a big impact on, you know, how bad our mental health is as well. And the whole stereotype.
I was going to say, to add off that too, another thing that we don't have, that we had back in the day grew up, we don't have a village. So it's like a lot of us, a lot of us don't have like our big mamas no more. Like our grandmas.
Yeah.
So that plays a part. Like nowadays, like you don't even see like kids outside playing or communicating without a tablet or something like that. So that's why I said I feel like that could be part of the mental health, because a lot of kids nowadays is hiding in electronics or like hiding behind people or hiding behind social media or feel like they gotta fit in.
Or the wrong crowd.
Yeah, and like it plays a part in upbringing too. Like you might not have got that type of loving at home. You might got that tough loving at home to where like that's how the black man or black male mind works.
Yeah.
Like we always gotta be tough.
Yeah.
Like that shit get tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit get tired.
I agree.
Like,
I agree.
Me being an adult right now, me being a father and all that stuff, me being a husband, like that shit get tired.
So
Yeah, I agree.
So I want to take the points that y'all made and take them deeper, right? Because I feel like, because obviously this is all model behavior for all of us, right? Like you said, we've been taught this, right? So we either learned it from our fathers, grandfathers, uncles, older brothers, you know, just the older men in our family, right? Not to give them any slight, however, they learned it from their uncles and grandfathers and so on and so forth. Because if we take it back, you know, all the way back into the, you know, 1400s, 1500s and stuff like that, right? Where we were legal property for individuals who our ancestors had to go to and discuss their problems with when they were dealing with, you know, being shipped and sold off away from their loved ones. You know what I'm saying? So I do feel like it is a lot of it is trickled down through generations. I remember we talked about this.
Yeah.
How much slavery has tunneled through generation through generation through generation, and a lot of those traits that may have birth in that time period still persist today, right?
Yeah.
Also, and back to what you said, like, okay, like having like a village thing, being sort of close, like being like a close community, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of that obviously contributes to, because if I look back at like, you know, we can go back to like the late 60s, early 70s, right? See, people would look at those times, even like the 50s, and say like, oh man, you know, black people were a little bit more unified, right? They were fighting for a lot more things. We had a lot more leadership going on in the black community, right? With your Marcus Garveys, you know, your Malcolm X's, Huey P. Newtons, etc., right? No. And then motherfuckers that go to war. Motherfuckers that go to Vietnam. You know, blacks were going to World War II as well. And we can also throw in World War II because now motherfuckers is coming back with PTSD. They come back with depression. And we didn't know what that shit was.
Yeah.
No, that didn't get talked in the black community. That was something that's frowned upon. It's almost kind of like, it's like an urban legend in the sense of like, yeah, it was getting talked about, but it didn't really get talked about like that. Like you had to be in that world or in that realm to know like what the hell is PTSD.
But it's real, but we have real people coming back to real life situations with real deal, like I said, with real PTSD, with real depression, and they asking themselves, they don't understand why the fuck am I waking up every morning not loving my wife or my kid? You know what I'm saying? Why do I want to kill myself every morning? Like why do I have this feeling? Now I'm taking my frustration out on my old lady and my child, you know. So there is like this social, like there's this social cultural effect that has really that has damaged us in a way. But now I have another point that is mainly targeted towards blacks. Because for some reason we still decide not to, even knowing all of this now in 2024, we still decide not to acknowledge the damage, right, that has been put upon us. Okay.
Do y'all?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Do y'all feel like the progress overall though of black men in general of wanting to get help? Do y'all feel like it's gotten better or worse since then?
For me, I feel like it's kind of like a slippery slope.
Okay.
Like I feel like it's made progress. So it's kind of like that thing, like you take 10 steps forward, take 10 steps back.
Yeah.
Because it was something that us as a community like hear from, didn't share, but now it's getting popularized. Like it's getting it's the thing to do now. So I feel like people could like go to therapy and stuff when they mind the right reasons, but come out with the wrong thing. Because what I tell people all the time is like therapy's not the problem. Like you can go to therapy all day, all night, spend all this money on therapy, but if you're not gonna take what you learn in therapy and apply that to what you're seeking therapy for, it's never gonna work.
That's a fact.
So it's like now that you hear all these rappers and stuff
actually putting in the work.
Yeah, you hear all these rappers and stuff like saying they in therapy. For like instance, like one of the rappers I know that's big in therapy is Wale. Like Wale's big in therapy. Even when I'm going through some, I listen to him because he kind of like dibble dabble in our world. He's for the people, he's for the culture. So he was like, that's one of the things he said, like black men in therapy, that's terror amongst like America, something along the line that they scared of black men in therapy because of what we may figure out ourselves and what we may heal and may learn and we may do and break generational curses. So I feel like that if you going for therapy for the right reasons, like I'm rooting for you, I'm behind you 1%. Like I tell people, like if you got it in you, therapy, take your parents to therapy, whoever you dealing with stuff, go to therapy. Like see what you can get out of it, because like you just trying to hold that stuff in, like it's going self-destruct. Like you're gonna self-destruct in so many ways. So that's why I say it's kind of like a slippery slope, because like some people do it for the right reasons, some people just do it just because it's the thing to do now.
That's how you feel. Yeah, you feel like there's some people out there that's using like this little mental health train to you know, for like, you know, attention and propaganda. I've came
across a lot of different types of people that claim to have, you know, I don't say claim, that said they were dealing with, you know, all types of depression, a whole lot of stuff, and you know, they said they went to therapy and stuff like that, and you know, mostly all of them gave me the same answers, pretty much how you were getting to, like, you know, stuff like, yeah, I didn't really want to go, but I was prescribed to go because, you know, they didn't really want to go. They didn't really want to put in the work. And, you know, these people, they seem happy every day, but it's like they was using that term, I'm battling with depression in every single situation to like make a person feel sorry for them or as an scapegoat. And it got annoying. And I was just at a point.
No, I feel you. I feel you.
So I'm now those type of people I hate. Those type of people I hate. Now I know there's tons of people that are those type of people I think are outshining the people that are really battling it, that are really going through with it.
Yeah, it gives us a bad rap.
Yeah, that's what I've came like across most of my life. Those types of people. So for a long time, when it came to depression, I guess I would say I was more so on the confused side on what depression is.
And you had this wall built up. It was like a gimmick. Like because I'm like, this is what depression looks like. Okay, in that case, I got depression. This person got depression. Bro got depression. You know, everybody got depression then. And I don't feel like that's the case. It's like those type of people are outshining the ones that are really battling it. And I hate that because now I got this whole different definition of what depression is, and that's not what it is. It's really this. Yeah, but you're gonna have your own definition because like everybody going through their own thing.
Everybody.
But what you said, it kind of remind me of like nowadays is like how like when kids are like energetic or they get bored, they have short attention span. A lot of doctors try to put them on medication.
It's right away.
And that's what you kind of remind me of. But it's like, no, they don't need medication. It's that you don't want to do your job or you don't want to figure out what's wrong with them. So you just want to subscribe on medication to set them down or like set them down or like calm them down. Just get a paycheck. Because like I tell people all the time, like I feel like doctors, majority of doctors, they the biggest drug dealers in America. Like
oh my god,
they
100%.
And you describing like we were talking about mental health, like you're describing all these mental health
pills,
like anxiety pills, like depression pills, like all these pills to try to just suppress. But like taking all these pills that's not helping whatever you're going through. That's not helping the issue.
Just giving them medicine and say, oh yeah,
that's a fact.
For up 10 years,
that's a fact. Misdiagnosing. Etc. and all that stuff. But I want to ask y'all a question because this is something that I feel that we all, in a sense, deal with, and I actually feel like there's a little bit of merit to it. So you tell me if I'm wrong, right? Now, this ideology, because I'm stuck, right? This ideology of black men portraying themselves as tough, strong, stand-up men. Because I absolutely feel like that can be a hindrance. However, I do feel like there's merit in having that ability to, in a sense, toughen up. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In a sense, roll with the punches, take what life is giving you, and be able to stand through the fire. Now, obviously, there comes a point in time where it can be a little bit detrimental to a person. However, I feel like that is our strongest attribute as men. To be able to sometimes be the strong, silent type and carry shit on your shoulders, So let me ask y'all, what do y'all think the balance is? So you guys think there's like an imbalance in it? Like, what do you think we have to meet in the middle of being strong and then being sort of compassionate and sentimental?
I'll let you answer that first.
Wow.
But all right, let me ask you: do you agree or disagree that it's a positive? Is that a positive?
There's a positive. It's definitely a positive. There's definitely a positive to it, 100%. I mean, you got these red pill, blue pill people, where it's like I don't really know the real definition of that, so never mind. I'm gonna just say, they go back to a time where men are supposed to be strong all the time. This and that, and only women are supposed to be kind of sort of our therapy in a way and stuff like that. But like to fast forward to now, to the balance, that's hard.
Do you feel like men now are a little bit more softer?
What do you mean by softer?
Portraying themselves in a more feminine image.
I feel like
versus how it was like how they bring up. I mean, they bring it all the time up in sports, right? We all watch sports, so
Yeah.
they talk about when we watch football, right? We got players from the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Oh, they couldn't play with us. They couldn't play with us. He would have went up. I would
mentally, I don't think so. Physically, probably.
Okay.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Mentally,
because there's always like the previous.
Since we're on black men playing in that time, it was hard. Mentally, it was real hard.
Especially doing like around like the Jackie Robinson and all that
Yeah,
stuff like
and
that.
especially if you were a winner. If you was a winner too, you having multiple threats to your family and all that. Dealing with that mentally and still getting on that field or court, whatever, and winning, you strong.
Well, like, but it's always that comparison, right?
Yeah.
Like, man, dudes, it don't have to necessarily be in sports, but it's like, man, y'all today, man, y'all always claiming that y'all got this, y'all got that, man, yada yada yada. You know, it's like y'all always claim y'all got this, y'all got that. Man, you break a toenail, man, you trying to man, get up and handle your business, like you know. Do you feel like that's now a lost trait in a sense, because they are trying to push the therapy road, and I agree that it's not being necessarily being pushed in the right, like how it's being promoted isn't the right way. Absolutely not. Right. But do you think like that again, like where's the balance? Like, okay, how do we know to be this tough? Like, all right, let me be a man right now, and all right, let me tone it down because I'm going through some real shit. You know, how do you guys feel like y'all found the balance?
I have not. I'm gonna keep it real. Like I have not, and I'm still dealing with that to this day. Where like between like dealing with the balance between work, home, then dealing with stuff with my daughter and stuff like that. But I feel like, go back to your question, I feel like it's like 50-50. But I feel like that this generation, and I ain't trying to like bash women or nothing like that, but like this generation of women, I don't feel like they're ready for emotionally intelligent man. And emotionally, somebody who's insecure with their feelings and emotions, who wear their stuff on their sleeve and don't have a problem telling you, because now it get frowned upon like, oh, you're being sassy, or you're BITC, or you being or
you
stuff
soft.
like that. And I was like, no, I said I'm very in tune with my feelings, so if I'm feeling something, I'm going to tell you. So it's like, my thing is like with relationships, I'm like, as a man don't feel something without emotion from a woman. So in order for a man to feel some type of way, whether he mad, happy, sad, angry, he has to get that from his significant other. So you're not gonna wake up mad at her for no reason. So it's like, if you did something, I feed off of you. Like how you get flowers. Like if I'm buying you flowers every day, or if I'm buying you jewelry, or whatever the case is, whatever you want, it's because you did something that make me feel that way for me to go out and get that. But when you stop getting that, it's like then you did something to me to not deserve that. So that's why like a lot of women or whatever, they'll send, like, I'm pretty sure like y'all been in situations where y'all been with girls or whatever, and then they'll send y'all posts of like dude doing this and dude doing that for that girl or whatever like that. So then my question to them is like you sending me this, so it's like, now it's like, okay, DM that lady or DM that couple and ask them what did she do in order to get this stuff. That's the question that a lot of people don't ask. So
I feel like my bad.
No, you go ahead.
Cut you off. I feel like definitely, especially a man, especially in his own home, that's where he should definitely be comfortable
with expressing himself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially in his own home. When this man get home, you at work, you out, you know, okay, in
the real world.
Yeah. But when a man steps foot in his home, he 110%. He should that's supposed to be a safe zone to express himself, to be who he, to be himself, to express all that. And I agree. A lot of women today, there is a lot of men who are expressing themselves to they look down. They look down to these men. You're soft. You're not a real man. Blah blah blah. And yeah, I feel like that's a problem, and that could be a good reason why a lot of men are afraid to come out and express how they feel. Because a lot of women are gonna be wondering, why my man getting all mad at me? Why is he having all these? He's getting mad randomly. Maybe you didn't listen to him, or maybe you didn't read between the lines. You didn't comprehend what he was trying to say. Or something like that. So I feel like I agree. Like that has a big part of why probably a lot of men.
But the flip side to that, a lot of these people, it's like a double standard, because it's like a lot of these women, and I ain't gonna say all women. Like I say, I'm not bashing women at all, because this applies to men too. So a lot of I'm gonna just say humans in general, and that goes back to like you saying like the being soft or hard or whatever. Like we're all human, we all have feelings. So there's no a woman has the right to be this way and a man don't have to be this way. But like to go back to saying what you saying, piggyback on what you said, a lot of people that seek for significant others, they pray to God, they wish for God, because they used to dealing with a certain type of person, like whether like that's like the girl that you chasing or whatever, she used to dealing with like hood dudes or tough dudes, or like the dude, or like
that's the downfall to a lot of men,
or like the guy who used to dating preppy girls, trying to like basically find the opposite. And then when you pray for this person, you get this person, and you like, whoa, it's too much. So that's like even when like me being a barber, like I deal with a lot of kids in high school, stuff like that. So I even tell like my nephews and them stuff like too. I'm like, or my nieces, I'm like, go for the person that you're attracted to. Don't go for the person that your friends are attracted to, because you trying to please your friends. At the end of the day,
stop going for these hood rats. God,
I mean, if you like hood rats, you like hood rats.
Nah, but I feel like that's
what I tell my nephews, my nieces. I'm like, if you like the girl with the tattoos and the piercings, that as long as she make you happy, go after that girl, because at the end of the day, like
that'll make you a hood rat though.
It don't, but it's like you going after these chicks that your homies approve of. At the end of the day, like you're not dealing with that. When you separate your homies, you gotta go home to that. You're not dealing with that. They're not dealing with that with you. Like you're only dealing with that, and then you become unhappy. So it's like go for the girls that you're attracted to, that have your best interests at heart.
Yeah,
and that's like females too. Go for the dudes that like you are attracted to, not you lusting for it, but like you're attracted to, that you can relate to, that you can like have a conversation with, like y'all can argue and still be cool, because it doesn't matter. Like anybody can feel love when everything is right, but then I want to know if you love me, or how you feel when we mad at each other. Like if I don't feel like you love me when we mad at each other, like then that's a problem. Because if you can't love me at my worst, then it's like, then what are we doing?
Because nothing's perfect. Nobody's perfect.
No, at all.
So okay, so this conversation just brought a idea to my head. And this is just a stab in the dark. Are relationships one of the biggest contributors to mental health today?
I don't think it's one of the biggest contributors, because I feel like it comes from like your upbringing. Okay. Because a lot of people have traumas to where like they haven't dealt with, or they don't know how to do it, because it was lack of both parents, or you're like in like or you're like in the upbringing of like what to say, like you were in foster care or stuff like that, so you had your parents around, so it's like you trying to figure out it's like you trying to figure out like how to deal with stuff because nobody taught you. That's just like when we all grew up on black sitcoms. Like all we seen was Claire and Huxtable and them, Uncle Phil, Aunt Viv. We seen Carl and Harriet. Like we seen all these black couples love, but like the majority of the people that's watching these shows, they was growing up in one single parent home. So it's like we growing up is like we want that. We seek that. We try to, when we grow up and get older, we want that. Like so it's like we try to break generational curses. So it's like I don't feel like it's like the relationship thing. I just feel like it's come from like your upbringing.
And I don't disagree with that. And I 100% not 100%. I agree. I 100% agree with that. No, and that's the real deal truth. I just wanted to see if there was any type of correlation between
I agree
how we behave versus, you know, obviously because obviously, listen, our connection with the opposite sex is, she's like 80% of our existence damn near for men.
That's what I say. It ain't far from it. Go hand in hand.
Right. I mean, it's so into, like, you know, each day we seek out attention from women, you know, in some capacity, in some type of capacity, right? So like when y'all two were discussing, like, you know, the individuals that people go towards, and then how their individuality mixes with the other person's individuality, you know. Sometimes it's water and water. Other times it's fucking oil and water. You see what I'm saying? And it's difficult for a lot of people to navigate that, you know, because they don't really understand the dynamic and how complex. I mean, this is a topic for a whole nother time, like the complexity of like a relationship and whatnot. But yeah, and I think a lot of people just really don't understand that. So I want to beg that question.
But what about you? Like, what are your take on that though? Like, how do you feel about it? Do you feel like, where do it come from? Do you feel like it come from like your upbringing, or it come from like
what's your take?
Your peers? Like,
oh, I 100% listen. I feel that it's a, because listen, right? This life is complex, right?
Life be lifing.
It is a complex network of experiences and personal, biological experiences, your psychodynamics, what's happening to you currently. It's an intertwine of all of these, of everything that you've been through coming out into one individual, and you have to try to display that to a mass amount of people, and it's difficult. So I feel like there are so with that being said, since there are a number of things that make us up as individuals, there are a number of things that contribute to why we behave the way we behave, right? But you know, ACEs, adverse childhood experiences, definitely contribute to, you know, certain behaviors that you display, you know, as you get older. Now my issue is, when do we sit down and actually ask ourselves, you know, okay, this is what I'm doing. This is what's hindering me in the future right now, right? I'm being told that I'm this, I'm being told that I'm that, yada, 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 right? So now we discover that, you know, a lot of dudes couldn't go to their girl about it, because if they do, they'll be deemed as, like you said, sassy and this and that, right? But if we try to go but hold on. So now do we go to our homie about it, who may be suffering from the same shit?
A lot of times we do.
You know, and he may not be able to comprehend the idea of,
ooh,
go ahead.
Okay. I feel like it's a sad truth that, you know, men, it's more of an option today. Shit, probably even back in time, where you can go to your bro or somebody like that, or a friend, rather than your woman for advice. I feel like it's more common. And, you know, I feel like and then, you know, you got a lot of women, not to get back on the women thing, my bad, but a lot of women be wondering why you with your bros all the time. You know, they call you feminine for hanging, because, you know, you trying to probably get help from him. You probably can't afford therapy. This is my bro. I can go to him and talk to him, you know, about what I'm going through. So I feel like I just want to say, I feel like it's more common that, you know, today you can go to your bro and talk to him, because, you know, he probably can understand better.
But you know why that's a slippery slope? I agree with everything you're saying, but go back to what you're saying, how we're not professionals, because like, you going to your bro, like, your bro know you. Yeah. He don't really know your girl like that though. So he don't know. No. So off the rip, that just like, even females, that's like females, like, they gonna take up for they homegirl in a situation. You might have the one few to like, nah, you wrong. And like, but that go back to him, was like, your bro know you. So it's like, he gonna side with you right or wrong, but then he might put his side like, you know, you're wrong, but he gonna side with you.
Yeah.
So like we go to our bro, but a lot of the reason why, as men, why we go to our bros, because that one time we went to our women, and we tell them what's going on. We open up to them. We being vulnerable. That's us being vulnerable. So all it takes for men, that's all it takes is one time.
One time.
Then like we get into arguments, stuff like that. You throw in my face, never again. So that's why a lot of then they get mad, like, why you don't talk to me? Like, why are you shut down? Why you got this wall? Because it was at a point in time where I was vulnerable with you, because I'm supposed to be vulnerable with you. I'm like, when it comes to your girl, your woman, like you supposed to be soft. Mm-hmm. You supposed to be soft when it comes to your girl, your significant other. Mm-hmm. Like you supposed to be all about her. You supposed to her everything, stuff like that. But if she's not receptive of what you're dealing with and what you're going through, vice versa. Like if you're not receptive of your girl,
at least understanding of what you want to.
Yeah, so that's just like women. Like we go to one, bro. Like some women that I know, like even my sisters do it. They have a group chat, so they be in a group chat and they be getting their therapy through them. But it's like nobody at therapy, because you need another point of view that don't know y'all. And
I agree.
And that took me being in my relationship now, me being in my marriage.
Opinion.
Yeah, like I didn't like you say, like us as black men, like I don't need therapy, like basically like fuck therapy, like I deal with my own like weird stuff like that. It took me like, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna touch on this like later in the podcast, but it's like it took me going through stuff with my daughter and my daughter mom to seek therapy, and I wasn't even thinking about therapy until like my wife said something. She was like, I think you need to go to therapy because like how you are, like it's too much going on for you not to be in therapy, because like you trying to fight for your daughter. Then on top of that, you dealing with everything else, like between work and you dealing with family issues. So it's like everything is hitting you all at once, and it's like, not saying that I didn't believe in God or whatever like that, but I'm starting to question. I'm like what's going on? Like I'm praying to you, like why are you picking me to go through all this stuff? So it's like I told you earlier, like therapy, like I tell everybody, go if you got it in you, if you really want to know about yourself, go to therapy, get somebody else's point of view, because like I done went to therapy, like self-therapy, I done went to couples therapy, and I done went to like family therapy for my daughter. So like dealing with all this shit, like therapy is a lot. Like it ain't for the weak either. So like if I'm telling people, like y'all, if you dealing with anything going on in your life, like seek help, go to therapy. Even if you don't feel comfortable with therapy, like have somebody go with you that you feel comfortable sharing stuff that you never told anybody, because like that's gonna help you get through a lot of stuff.
And listen, right, that was a beautiful transition, because I do want to get into some of our personal experiences that we felt like now as grown men, we can look back at ourselves and actually be honest. Since this is a space of being honest, we can look back and say, hey man, at a period of my life, I was going through this. I was thinking like this. I was being irrational or irresponsible because of X, Y, and Z, right? So I'm curious to know, like what are some of these periods where y'all felt like, you know, looking back, man, you know what, man, you know, I used to say I was cool, but I wasn't cool. You know, I was kind of angry, you know, or saddened, or, you know, or confused about the way my life was going, or about the individuals in my life. You know, I wasn't for sure who cared about me, who did care about me, who didn't, you know, who was going to have my back, who wasn't going to have my back, you know, because it's easy to talk about it, but like, could an individual really sit back and say, you know what, and admit and identify the you know, the bumps in the road, right? So look, Torian gave a little bit of his. I want to shoot over to you, bro. If you want to mention, we can go around and try to figure it out. And I'm starting with you specifically, nigga, because nigga, like you said, I know this nigga, man.
Oh man.
And if you hold on now, listen, if you feel like, now if you don't know, you don't know. right? I
Now-
say it again. We're not experts here.
Now,
So-
I'm gonna say this.
Say what you feel comfortable with saying.
I'm gonna say this. I've definitely had some tough times.
Mm-hmm.
Some crazy tough times, in my life. Now, was there ever a time where, like, man, I felt like I needed to get some professional help? I'm gonna be real honest here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there was a time in my life where I
Okay.
felt like I needed professional help. Like I need to go talk to someone.
Okay.
Now,
But not to cut you off, but
Yeah.
why did you feel like you didn't need professional help? Though, like, was it because of like the stereotype that's put on us, or you felt like it was something that you could just do it on your own, or you feel like it was somebody that you can talk to?
that's a good question because I think it's a little bit of mixture of both.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I wasn't raised. My mom didn't raise me to be like, "Oh no, you tough." Deal with it.
Like suck that shit up.
Yeah, like suck it up. Deal with it. My mom didn't raise me that way.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
You was blessed.
we all. I could say that I was blessed with
You
that.
was lucky. You was blessed.
I'm one in however many people that was lucky to have that. Now I've had tough times, of course, like as we all have.
Mm-hmm.
Now I do feel like a lot of people cope differently than a lot of other people.
Absolutely.
Now, the reason I feel like I didn't need professional help because my coping is just different than I feel like than most. Music is a good therapy for me.
It definitely is.
Like you say, he listen to Wale.
Yeah,
he get through.
Music is a great therapy for me, and it actually, if I'm in an upset mood or a pissed off mood, or if I'm feeling like, or something a little bit more extreme than that, music. If I'm on 100, it can literally get me back down to like 10, and I'm okay at that point. Like that's how much of impactful, like how powerful music is for me.
Okay.
It may not be that powerful for a lot of people. Now, some people, it could be temporarily, therapy for them, but they're still going to need help.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it wasn't like that. Music, I'm good. I'm back to where I need to be. To continue to go on. So that's why I feel like I never needed to, for me wise. But I'm open-minded. I know a lot of other people is different, and a lot of people go through real tough things. So with me wise, that's the case.
So before we move on, let me propose a question to you. Right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like because it sounds like to me, like you said, you've been through things, but you saw through it, right? Do you think that cancels out the fact that you may have because that I think that's another perception, like an illusion, right? It's like I've been to war, I've seen it, I'm back. But am I really okay? Right? Am I just telling myself that?
Yeah.
Right? Am I really blind to my temperament, to my attitudes, to my irrational thinking? Because I feel like I'm just like everybody else. I get up, I go to work, I can drive a car, I can cook food, I can mentally do all of these, juggle all of these tasks.
Yeah.
Therefore, I'm straight, nigga. So I'm comparing you to me. Like, I did it. Why the fuck can't you do it?
But when you go home by yourself, though,
right?
Like, how do you feel? Like,
you still gotta face. You still gotta go to sleep with some guilt, with some demons, with some repressed lust and desires and things that's gone unchecked, right? So having like you said, having been through those situations, do you feel like, what? Honestly, man, I feel like I'm alright. But are there some things you like, man? There are a few things that you want to iron out.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be real honest. I'm a person that I'm not gonna hide anything. If I'm really, I'm not the type of person. If I'm really feeling something, I know I need to put in the work to go get that help. Me as of now, I'm okay. I am good. I'm good.
Okay.
Not 100% good. We all battling stuff every day. But I am good.
Okay.
I can honestly say that I'm blessed, and I can honestly say, yeah, I'm okay, 100%.
Okay. All right. Hey. So Torian, like, okay, so
What about you?
okay, we'll go to me then. We'll go to me then.
No, this could be you.
No, Will's gonna get to me. Will's gonna get to me. Shit. Will's gonna get to me. I mean, goddamn, I got a quarterback and shit now. Come on now. I got a quarterback now.
You the receiver now.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, the quarterback don't go to receiver, nigga. Come on now.
Hey, what's the dude from New Orleans? Hill. He a quarterback and wide receiver. Go ahead.
Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill. Okay, damn, I know that. Okay, well, listen, right. I mean, for me, look, right. Looking back at me, one thing I suffered with as a child was I felt well, and my mom, like everybody older in my life would tell you this. I was a very, 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 very shy kid, right? You know, if the situation wasn't optimal for me, if I didn't walk into a situation and I couldn't tell you what the conditions needed to be for me to feel comfortable, but if I didn't feel comfortable, I'm shutting down, right? I heart racing, I'm nervous, I'm sweating, don't know why, you know, but that's just how I felt, right? Now, obviously, as a child, and listen, and this is like no shot to anybody. Obviously, anybody in my family, but you know, it doesn't matter what they think. This is how I feel, right? Obviously, you know, that type of behavior really didn't resonate with, you know, a lot of people in my lives, a lot of my cousins and etc. Right? Because hanging out with them, they didn't go through. I didn't see them experiencing the same things, right? When I went to them, we go to birthday parties and shit like that. You know, they over there having a good old time, man, just running around. Me, you know, I didn't really want to, you know, I'll talk to this cousin, that cousin, but you know, a lot of times I'm trying to move in a way that I'm not being seen too much, right?
Oh, you're a bougie cousin.
I love. But obviously, you know, so with that being said, I couldn't really express, you know, that uncomfortable feeling, that feeling of anxiety that I had, you know. And so then you ask yourself, okay, well, shit, well, what did you do when you had to go to daycare? When you had to go to school and shit like that? We had to go to birthday parties and whatnot, right? Or, you know, when you was forced to go out on the weekends with, you know, with cousins and shit like that. Y'all about to go to fucking skate land or skate days and shit like that, or hope skate and shit, right? So I'm going to these big these crowded, these heavily populated areas, and you know, I'm feeling uncomfortable. I'm feeling like I need to find my footing. I don't know where, I don't know how. And a lot of that was just being bottled up, right? Now I feel like as I got older, and I grew out of it fairly quickly. I mean, I still kind of suffer from it just a little bit today, just a slight, right? Just a slight. But no, it was a lot of well, I just got to figure it out, because my mama ain't finna pick me up until goddamn, you know, 5 o'clock. So I'm here with everybody else, and I gotta just make it happen somehow, right? Because ain't no other adult finna sit down and listen to me and all this other type of shit. But I would say around like 11, 12. It's kind of, you know, I would talk to some people. This would be times where I would talk to my mother or grandmother or whatever like that.
Did wrestling get you into more of a comfortable?
So what was funny was I was almost close, because, well, listen, right? Because around like, you know, 9, 10, 11, like around that time is where I got into wrestling, right?
Okay.
And listen, yeah, when you walk into look, we all play sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nervous as shit when you go into practice and shit, and there's other motherfuckers there that that you feel like are already better because you're already comparing yourself to other dudes. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he my size, he my height. Or if you playing basketball, okay, I want to play shooting guard. You figure out who else playing shooting guard and you sizing them up. Or if you playing running back, you size up the other niggas playing running back. Like, oh shit, he fast. Oh shit, he strong.
Especially if you knew the newest one on the team.
Yeah, and so then you start down yourself like. Oh,
everybody looking at you.
Yeah, you like, oh shit. Right. You thought you was fast and strong until you went somewhere else, and then you start saying like, oh shit, right?
Reality check.
Yeah, but then you right. So that's pretty much what it is. It's kind of like, oh shit, like I gotta figure this out now, right? Like what I'm gonna do. But I mean, honestly, for wrestling, I mean it I'm not gonna say it helped that I knew because my club coaches was pretty much like my uncles. Like my dad grew up with the coaches that coach the club. Shout out to Ray RP Nationals / Explorers, right? Roger Parker and all of them, man. Yeah, those they like him, my dad. They like brothers. So that's pretty much like my uncle and shit like that. So yeah, obviously take you in. What's up, little Glenn? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're gonna take care of you. Da 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 da. So you already got that little bit of level of comfort. Like, okay, bet. All right, cool. Maybe it's not as bad as I'm perceiving it to be.
Leadership.
It's definitely great. It's amazing leadership.
Yeah. But it goes back to you having a village too.
Like
a village to help raise you to where your parents feel comfortable enough to leave you around certain people to know like I know they got his best interest because I trust these people in my own life. So it goes back to that too.
Yeah. And like he said, like I too didn't have like an authoritative mother neither. You know what I'm saying? Like who was too strong-minded, possibly holding a grudge against my father, and now she's taking her anger out of me. No, absolutely fucking not, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And
based on that.
And yeah, obviously, yeah. But I had strong parents. Like I got it. Like I have a strong mother. I have a strong father and shit like that, right?
Yeah.
And obviously some of a lot of his traits because he's a strong man who could think himself out of a lot of difficult situations. So obviously I inherit that from him as well. So I was able to kind of like deal with it. As I was getting older and older, I was able to identify things that made me feel uncomfortable and learn to adjust to them instead of like say having like a negative coping habit or just blaming other people for what was happening around me, because it's not their fault that I feel uncomfortable. Right? It's not their fault that I'm feeling shy. We just here having a good time. Like nobody said nothing to me, nobody did nothing to me. I just feel this way. So it's not necessarily their fault. Right. So I'm glad I was able to I'm glad I was able to have the ability to just be able to just be cognitively aware of that feeling. Right.
I got a question. So for both of y'all. So when a person, they're growing up, they're going through real trauma shit. So pretty much like depression and having trauma, is that something that sticks with you forever?
Answer that first.
Yeah.
Like if you get I'm not saying you go to a professional, you done talking to him, it's over. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like over time, is it getting you? Would there become a time over however many years or months, however long it takes? People are different. Is this something that eventually can go away?
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I'll answer that. This depends what. I mean, like you said, it depends on the person, but it depends. Some. But okay, but we're talking about. All right, I think you're talking about like real psychological disorders and shit like that, like you said, like bipolar and all that.
Okay, yeah.
I want to know a lot of that shit don't go away. You can get over like PTSD or having like a panic attack or like a phobia. Yeah, that type of stuff you can get through like exposure therapy and all that type of stuff. You can get over that type of stuff, but like certain like depression or certain bipolar. Yeah, I can categorize bipolar in that.
I know we touched base on this a little bit in the first one.
Yeah, I mean, no, a lot of those symptoms.
I kind of want to hear his opinion too, though. So,
all right, but yeah, a lot of those symptoms don't persist. Like you have to like either, if they prescribe you medication, it's best that you stay on medication or else, because it's if we get too deep into it, it's a chemical imbalance, and you can't redo a chemical imbalance.
right.
Like if it's where the damage is done, it's already done.
Okay.
In a sense. So
what was your question again?
So pretty much like over time, like when it comes to depression, and we said like, you know, bipolar disorder or whatever, over time, however many years or months, years, however long it takes, is this something that can eventually go away?
Not to cut you off, Torian. I also want to state, just for like, you know, the audience,
Yeah.
you know, also want to state that there are levels to this shit though.
Yeah.
Right. It's like there are like, okay, so if you are, like, say we all go through depression and shit like that, but there are levels to it, right? There is like a severity to it, to where it could be like physically damaging, right? Not just mentally damaging or emotionally. It could be like you can see it on the motherfucker, right? So I don't want to make it seem like a person that's going through it can't get out of it, right? Because there are moments where a person is going through it for a certain period of time, but like there are levels. Like you have like moderate, mild, high, extreme, severe. Like you have like there's like a scale to it though. So for the ones that I said, like, you know, these symptoms don't go away like if you come off medication, like these symptoms just like will come back.
These people battling severe shit.
There are periods where it's like, you know, but those are like that's why you use the term clinically diagnosed though.
Yeah.
That's when you use the term clinic. If I'm on specific, if I'm on medication, if I was subscribed like SSRIs, NIs, or like Prozac, all that type of shit, right? Lithium and all that type of stuff, right? These are different medications. If you get to the point where you are prescribed it, rightfully so prescribed it. Let's put that out there. Like rightfully so prescribe these meds, then it's highly recommended by a profession that you remain on these medications
For the rest of your life.
For the rest of your life, or else these symptoms will return.
Wow. My question to you, talking about that, before I answer that question. So my question to you, how do you know you being 100% correctly diagnosed? Because the simple fact that when you're going to see a doctor, whatever, basically it's basically off of a past patient. So they seeing symptoms that they seen another patient that's similar to yours, so they diagnose you with the same thing, just because like it seems similar. And basically it's like, it's kind of like that movie Crash, how all that stuff like intertwined with each other.
That's my movie.
Right.
So it's intertwined with each other, but they all was dealing with different shit, but it all ties in with each other. So it's like, how do you know that the doctor's really prescribing you a med? Because that goes back to what we said earlier. Like, some doctors, I feel like they just do it just to get a paycheck.
Yeah.
Whatever. So how do you know, like, you could just be like having a bad day or whatever, you feel like you need to go see a doctor, and you ain't never been, like I said, you probably never been depressed before, nothing like that. You just going to the doctor, telling them what's wrong with you, whatever. Like, this is what I'm feeling at the moment. Never felt this way before, and they diagnose you with depression and anxiety.
I'm gonna tell you what, like, because we all know, like, and not to bash anybody in the
No,
health
this is not to bash anybody,
because
at all.
Because look, I one day want to be in the health field, right? I want to be, you know, a psychologist and CBT and do CBT therapy and all that type of shit, right? Shit. I mean, I guess a person won't know. I guess a person will, like, you know. I mean, you know, obviously, if you know, if you're going to a doctor, you know, bring somebody else with you. Don't just go by yourself. You know, obviously, bring a friend or a parent,
Somebody that you trust. Yeah,
that knows you well, and you know, can also say, well, you know, that can, you know, a third eye that can be like, you know what, I have been, you know, observing Semaj for the past couple of days, and he has been acting kind of weird. Versus, you know, hey, he lost his grandmother. Right now, he's going through a tough time. You know, I mean, that's the best advice I can give somebody. Like, if they do feel skeptical about going, I'm like, look, man, just you know, bring somebody with you, because if you can't figure it out, you know, how could you really know what's going on with you? So, you know, and obviously, yes, if there is a doctor, there's a piece of shit doctor out there
There's a lot of them.
who's just like trying to just clean house and shit like that. Oh man, I'm about to move to fucking Tampa in a couple of months, man. All these patients, man, I gotta, you know, people still come to me and shit like that. I don't
Passing them out like flyers.
Yeah, man. If it's still look, if it's piece of shit doctors like that, then yeah, then no, I don't, you know, fuck them. I need to be laws against that shit. It should be I think it should be laws against it. I'm hoping it is. But yeah, I guess you'll just really never know.
My other thing too is to piggyback. Like we all been around our grandparents, whatever. We all been over grandparents' house. So like, I ain't gonna say just black people in general. Like people in general, like how you say like if you get subscribed these pills, you supposed to take them. Like asking both of y'all, like how many times have y'all been over your grandparents' house or aunts, uncles, whoever in your house, and they've been subscribed to these pills. And then they have like a shitload ton of pills that they don't use all the way. So it's like, my thing is like with me personally is like I try not to like depend on the medication or whatever, because that when you depend on medication, then that's when addictions fall. That's when here comes addiction, and stuff like that. So it's like that's why I agree with you, but it's like I'm on the fence because it's like. I feel like half the time they just diagnose because like it's the pharmaceutical. So like I said, like they're the biggest drug dealers. So it's like probably they get a profit. I feel like they get a profit off of that. Like subscribing with pills and pills and pills. Then you get refills and stuff like that.
They you could be prosecuted as a company if you don't make a profit.
Yeah, that's why they hated Dr. Sebi so much.
Oh, that was that. Do you remember? Yeah, that was that. That dude. I don't know if you remember him. This was like over 10 years ago. It was
Is it Sebi or Sebi?
Sebi. I don't quote me. I don't know. Sebi.
Because I hear people say different. I heard Dr. Sebi and I heard Dr. Sebi.
I heard both, so I don't quote me.
Nipsey Hussle say Sebi, and I know another rapper that say Sebi. So
I don't think it's I don't think it's disrespect. It's just how you pronounce it. Because I don't know if it was a dude long time ago when we was in high school. Dude named Martin Shkreli. It was a white dude. He was most known for like buying like a Wu-Tang album that was like unreleased type shit.
Oh, I remember that.
But a lot of people hated him because there was this I don't know if it was like a cancer medicine or something like that was like affordable, but he jacked the price up to like $700.
I was gonna say that too,
right? And
they did that with the EpiPens too, and a lady got convicted of that because I think the lady daughter died or something like that because she couldn't afford the EpiPen.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, but he went on. But I seen like a couple of interviews from him because at the time he seemed like an interesting person, and he was just like. He was just like, you know what, like, bro, like you can be prosecuted. Like I can go to prison, bro, for not making a profit because I have to be able to make a profit in order to, you know, finance more of this shit. So if I'm selling it for like $60, how the fuck I'm supposed to make my money back? You know, type shit, right? So it is that business part of it, but I do agree, like, you know, yeah, people can get like like addictions can happen, and medication doesn't. And
it's really these doctors that are at the lower end trying to come up that are really fucking people over, I think, probably. So they trying to get up there with these top doctors that's making top dollar, and they probably
it's a business.
Yeah,
it is a business. I mean, and that's it is a business at the end of the day, you know. So it's like, and obviously the people who are. If I got the money,
feel for those people, man. I really feel for those type of people.
Because some of them people really need help.
Yeah, and if you don't have the finances for it, you know, it's like you kind of asked out in a way. But that's just that's just the thing that people understand about, you know, just like I said, like how complex life is. It's like we're like mental disorders are like a real thing, right? Yeah. So it's like, damn. This is a real thing that, you know, can or can't be avoided. For some people, it's unavoidable. You know, it can be genetic. And then it's like, fuck, well, shit. Now I'm dealing with this shit and I don't have the money for it. So, like, fuck, you know.
And this could be passed down. You said, correct?
It could be genetic, yeah. Some of them are genetic.
That's crazy.
So much.
Because I learned that from you from last episode. I didn't know that. Like it can be passed down.
So it could be genetic.
Giving it to your kids and
Oh, I got another point I want to go to. But all right, but Torian, what you got on your mind? What you got on your mind?
crazy.
No, but to answer your question, I feel like it don't leave you, but it could leave you. But it all depends on you and the work you want to do, is whether you're willing to forgive and forget.
Yeah.
Like, so it all depends on that, because like I said, like you might have a fucked up relationship with your parents. You might not forgive your parents and shit they did, but that's why I say it doesn't leave you, but nobody's telling you to forget at all. But it's like, in order to move on with your life, some people, like, you have to forgive, not even forgive them, but forgive them for your own self, so you can move forward and you could accept them. That's not saying like you gotta just accept them back in your life and just forget everything that they did, but just kind of like like just have a guard up and like just have them at arm's length distance.
Real quick, so for kids out there or people that are grown now that went through bad things, had a bad relationship with their parents and stuff, that went through things. For the people out there that never got a chance to like actually talk to their parents about it, or come to them and let them know what they battled, what they had to go through as a kid, what's your advice to those people that can't talk to their parents?
Hold on.
And they're alive. They can't talk to them. Maybe their parents don't want to either hear, or they're not. Anything like that.
Well, hold on, because I want to. All right, so like before you answer that, I want to tie in because we never got to him. Okay, like certain experiences that you might have had, like say, like looking back and reflecting of, I was going through this, right? And then you mentioned like being able to like forgive and forget, right? So like illustrate some of the hurdles that you might have had mentally, and then like how, like you said, bringing up forgive and forget. Was that a method that you employed in order to like get over that hump, or like what helped you get over that hump eventually, right?
Okay, so like I can even like double back on this, like, so like it could even go back to like when I was young. It kind of relates to you how you said like if it didn't fit, whatever, like if you didn't check out, because like a big thing for me growing up, it was consistency. Like I didn't have a lot of consistency because like I never went to the same school for more than 1 year. So that plays a part to where like I didn't, like, I'm making friends, and then next thing you know, I didn't have a lot of friends because it's like I'm at a different school. Every year I'm at a different school. So that plays a part. So like fast forward. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that goes back to you saying like it could be like a lot of stuff could like follow you in your childhood that but from that stereotype that's played upon us, like be tough, like figure the shit out, like it don't never go away. It just like you sweeping shit under the rug and it just submerge. So like fast forward, like some shit, I could say like depression is real. Mental health is real, especially in the Black community, because like I've dealt with it. And like I may look like I got everything fucking together, like just by like you judging me off like what I drive, what I wear, by the shoes and stuff like that. I'm here to let y'all know looks can be deceiving. I don't have it all together at all, because so like I'm gonna be real with y'all. Like this is no fear podcast, like no fear. So I'm gonna be real with y'all. So I didn't realize I needed to seek professional help until I started dealing with legal shit with my daughter. So basically, make it all short, like I had a child with this woman, whatever, got together, whatever. She had a child or whatever that previous. So me being upbringing, me being around a big family, I took him in. This is my son or whatever. So end up having my own child with this woman. Then we fall out, break up.
Okay.
So then this is where I feel like the depression started kicking in, because even when we was together, like I wasn't happy. It was a lot of like arguing, toxic shit. So I'm like, I wasn't happy. Found out she was pregnant, but I found out the fucked up way that like how anybody else find out fucked up way, like we arguing, break up, whatever. Oh, I'm pregnant. So it was like, yo, first rebuttal was like, it ain't mine. like type shit. So it's like it ain't mine. So fast forward, whatever. I knew the possibility was mine, whatever. So fast forward, I'm like, okay, my first time being a parent. So I'm like, okay, nobody taught me how to be a parent. Like I'm trying to learn how to just by seeing like my brother go through shit. My dealing with my dad whenever he come around, dealing with my mom, my grandparents. Because the only type of love I seen in a household, in a 2-parent household, was me and my grandparents. Right. So or me on TV. So it's like me watching that shit. Like I said earlier, me watching that shit is like that's what I want. Like when I grow up, I want to be like Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil or Claire and Clint Huxtable, and I want that. So nobody taught me how to love. Nobody taught me how to like I said, we grew up in a tough little home, whatever, and the different homes. So like I didn't have I was never in the same school, going from home to home, whatever shit like that. Like I had a rough childhood, so it was like all I knew I didn't want that for my kids. So I'm thinking like I have to be with this woman to prevent that from happening to my kids or whatever. So I had this girl, whatever. We'll get together, we break up, don't see my kid, miss her first birthday, miss first Christmases, like missing all this shit. So I'm like, damn. So like it's starting to fuck with me. I'm like, the only way I'm gonna see my daughter is I have to be with this woman, whatever. So try it again. Wow. So I tried again, get with this woman or whatever, and still the same shit happened. Now it's getting to a point where like I can't stand to be around her. Then I'm feeling more angry, more agile. We get into arguments. I'm punching walls, like punching glass, but never did I ever disrespect her in a way to where like I never calling out her name, never put my hands on her, stuff like that. Even like me vent to my homies, to them like bro, like they're like I would have went upside her head and stuff like that, or like she deserved all this, did that third. I'm like no, because how now I'm an overthinker. So I'm in my head thinking like, okay, like I don't want my daughter to see this shit, and she think this shit is okay. So then when she get older and she deal with men, this is what daddy did, so this is acceptable. Right. So I'm like, no, I don't want that. And then on the other hand, I have a son, like my dad did this, and he said that to me before, like me and his mom getting into it, whatever, and she yelling at him or something like that, and then he was like, my dad did it, so that made me think like, okay, like now I really gotta watch what I'm doing. So fast forward, we end up splitting again. And remind you, so we end up splitting, but me being the person I am, she end up losing her job, blah blah blah, all this other stuff. So me being the father I am, I'm like, okay, like I don't want my kids to be homeless. I know what that's like. I've been through that. I don't want my kids in the system. Been through that. Yeah. I know what that's like. So I'm like, I'm on child support, so I'm telling her, I'm like, hey, like, I take care of all the bills. Take care of all the bills. All you gotta do is pay my child support. That's it. And I'm trying to work with her, so y'all still have a place to stay. Y'all still got heat. Y'all still got food. Y'all still got clothes. Still got whatever y'all need. Just pay my child support. Remind you, I'm living in a whole separate household. So I'm doing all this, so I'm paying 2 separate households. Shit. Kind of find out, this is the first time she betrayed me. So this is where like I'm having trust issues now. So along this, I'm having depression and trust issues. To where to come back, like she never was paying it. Got a letter in the mail saying that you're behind, and they're gonna revoke all my shit. Whoa. So sheesh. Yeah. So
that'll fuck me up.
Yeah. So like now I'm having trust issues, and on top of that, I'm having depression. Yeah. So, but I'm like, I gotta do this for my daughter. Whatever. Gotta do this for my daughter. Gotta do this for my son. Yeah. So I'm taking care of this boy, taking care of this little girl, whatever. Then the fucked up part about it, in between being that when we broke up, like when it's time for me to get my kids, she will always drop off my son, but she will never drop off my daughter. So it's like now you playing this game. So fast forward, I feel like I said, like my kids are daddy boy, daddy girl. Like I feel like I need to be in their life, because what kids don't need that father? Right. So
fathers are important.
Yeah. So moving on again, and that's another thing, like you said, fathers are important, because the statistics for single parent home with mothers, like kids don't do right. They like the stats prove that like they get into trouble. They more in gangs. They end up in jail or dead. they end up like, even with girls, they end up in prostitution, like trafficking, all types of shit. But when a father is present, like the percentage goes down.
The positive numbers are better.
Yeah.
The numbers are better when the father, and that's not bashing all mothers. Like for the mothers that's doing their thing, the mothers that like that's want to see their fathers in their child life. Like I'm all for it. Like I'm happy
Even
for
if the
y'all.
relationship ends, for the mothers that are letting these fathers still be fathers, salute to y'all, man. Salute to y'all.
And the crazy part about it is like I feel that to this day. I'm like, if I was a drug dealer, if I was a deadbeat, blah blah this, I wouldn't have none of these problems. And that goes to show, because like when I'm not in a relationship with anybody, I get my kids whenever I want to, get to talk to them whenever I want to, get to see them whenever I want to, get to hear from them. They come to my job, all this stuff. But the moment I get in a relationship, I don't see them, don't hear from them, don't talk to them, none of that. So like fast forward, so then like she ended up moving, whatever, helping her move. Then I'm paying then I'm paying for this other household. Kind of find out she's getting.
So at this point, you paying for 2 households?
Yes.
Okay.
My house, me and my roommates in an apartment, and I'm paying for a whole other apartment that I'm not even staying at.
Right.
Don't live at. This is where my kids at, because when she lost her job, her mom said she can't come here.
Right.
Damn. Okay.
So it's like you painting me as a bad person, but when you needed help, I showed up.
Right.
So fast forward or whatever, I'm at my wit's end. Like, remind you, like I'm doing all this stuff. I'm still paying child support. So we end up moving back together while I'm living with her, paying all the bills and paying child support. Paying all the shit, trying to help her. Kind of find out she was lying to me the whole time again. So this is where my trust is broken again. And she was getting help, whatever. So all the money I was paying for like child support and the bills, basically she was like just keeping it. Yeah, she was just keeping it for herself. So she had extra on top, and she was just saving her money. So then that's when I was like, you know what, I'm done. So at this time, my daughter's at the age where she's young, so we split whatever. And I get with this girl, this other girl. So I'm not with my baby mama. I get with this girl, whatever. So the whole time I didn't see her. I didn't see my kids. I didn't talk to them, none of that. But this is when the baby mama, baby daddy drama start. So now it's like this where like the history starts to repeat itself. But my parents and certain members of my family and stuff like that, like the drama, like the stereotype, like baby mama, baby daddy drama.
Yeah.
So this is where it starts to repeat itself. So I'm getting phone calls, whatever, playing on my phone, blah, blah, this and all this other stuff. So then boom. This is where like the anxiety, depression, mental health, mental illness or whatever. Then like I said, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Like at this point in time, it was like, so it was like to the point to where like I didn't want to be here no more because now I'm trying to fight for custody for my kids.
And men got to go through some crazy shit.
That ain't even half of shit. So I'm gonna get to that shit too. So that ain't even half of it.
I know men currently right now that are going through that. So
yeah, and it's sad because like as men, as black men, we already have 2 strikes. 1, we're men. 2, we're black.
Yeah.
In the court system. So it's like we're a 2-time felon. So we already got 2 strikes against us.
Yeah.
So fighting for my daughter or whatever. So then haven't seen her for a year, whatever the case may be. So then I'm getting these messages, whatever, saying that, don't know if she playing on my phone or not, saying like, oh, dad, the dude that mommy with is scaring us, blah, blah, this, all this other stuff. He hitting on her, we're hiding in the closet, all types of shit. So as a dad,
you going to Superman mode.
So I'm going, nothing happening. So then it happens again. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna react. So it's like now I'm gonna involve CPS. So I involve in CPS, whatever. They do a check, then find them or whatever. So then on the flip side of that, fast forward, I'm not with my remember my ex breakup, not with her no more. So on the flip side of that, mind you, this started in 2016, 2017. Still going on to this day now. So still going on. So I haven't heard from them, haven't seen them or anything like that at all. So then fast forward, got a lawyer, whatever. So I'm at work. I get a call. Didn't answer it. Get a call. Didn't answer. Get a call. Get an answer. So like who the fuck calling me like this? So finally get a call. Answer like hello. It was like hello. This is such and such. This is Detective such and such. I'm like okay. Like what's going on? He was like, we need you to come down to the station. And I'm like, for what? And he was like, we have some, we got some things we need to question you about. So I'm like, for what? I said, I'm not coming down to the station.
Yeah.
So he was like, if you want to see your daughter again, then you need to come down to the station.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay. It don't make a difference now. I'm not seeing her now. So like, I'm not about to come down to the station. He was like, if you don't come to the station right now, you'll never see your daughter again. And we're going to issue a warrant out.
The fuck?
Damn.
So I'm like, okay, like what the fuck is going on?
I know it's okay.
So at this time, I called my lawyer. I said, yo, I just got a call from a detective, blah, 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 blah. Like this is what's going on. He said, do not go to a police station. Meet me down at the station, whatever case. So I meet him down at the station. We go in there. And I'm like, we call the detective. I'm like, yo, I'm down here. Mind you, I'm a barber. So then I see one of my other clients too, that's a cop. He was like, he see me, he's like, what the fuck you doing down here? I was like, same question. I don't know.
Right.
So they put me in this room. Now this is where, like I also said, this is like where black mental health and issue is a real deal for black men, especially dealing with things that they hold to them. So like my kids is like something that I hold dearly to me and I don't play with.
Right.
So I'm in the room and it was like, they know why you're here for. So I'm like, okay, like she probably lied and said that like I had like beat on my daughter, like whoop my daughter, blah blah this. Never had to whoop my daughter, never had to beat my daughter because like when you put that fear in, I'm not adding on no scare type shit. Like you just look at it and be like now you acting up, like straighten your shit up. So they asked me and they was like, no. They was like, you here on a serious charge. So I'm like, what serious charge? They was like, well, we got a confession from your daughter saying that you touched her. So I'm like, touched her like how? Like whooped her, like beat her, like what you saying? They was like, no, like you touched her, like you physically, sexually touched her, and then then on top of that, they're saying that you had like drugs, all types of shit around her. So the only thing I do, I just broke down and started crying because I'm like, well, where the fuck is this coming from? Like,
right.
So in the midst of all that, I'm like, you know what? I said, fuck all this shit. Go get your supervisor. I was like, I'm willing to take a lie detector test right now. And like when I say like this was the scariest shit ever, like me taking a lie detector test was so scary because it's like they put you in this chair, like the shit look like the Death Row logo. Like you in this fucking chair, they strap all the shit around you, and they asking you questions. So then knowing that you didn't do the shit, like it's just the simple fact that they're asking you this shit. So you be like, damn, like did I think about this shit before or did I do this shit? And all this shit, and remind you that I'm going through all this shit while engaged, trying to move into a house. Then on top of that, me and my wife had a daughter that we just lost. So I'm dealing with all this shit, like lost my daughter, going to court, fighting for my daughter, then trying to beat these allegations. So I'm dealing with all this shit. So like I said, like it's getting to a point like depression hitting, trust issues hitting, like if I'm being real, like suicidal thoughts. Because it's like that's a lot for one person to deal with it. Then on top of that, I'm going through therapy and all this shit. So trying to do it through therapy, trying to be here for my daughter. So I'm doing all this shit. So then take the lie detector test, and it could have said you passed. So I said, okay. So now like I want her to take a lie detector test, and I want my daughter to take a lie detector test. Yeah. And it was like, well, we can't have your daughter take a lie detector because she's underage. I said, but she wasn't underage when y'all got this bogus ass story out of her. Yeah. And the mom refused to take the lie detector test.
Guilty conscience.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. So it's like, and the crazy part about it, I'm not the only one that's going through shit. So like, I was reading through this shit. Like I was reading a story. So this guy was in Atlanta. This guy was going through shit, and this is why I said the shit. I don't condone in it, and I don't realize okay with it, but now I see why a lot of dads like snap whatever, and like they take out the whole family because the court be felon fathers. And they be felon by fathers like that. So it was like this guy, he was in Atlanta, he was fighting for custody for his kids. So then the mom, she ended up moving to a different county, so they couldn't serve her. So he had to go to court to a different county.
Vicious.
Yeah, so he had to go to court for a different county.
Vicious.
He did that shit on purpose.
Yeah,
Whoa.
but this is the fucked up part about it. So he felt like he's telling the court, like he's pleading with him, like, yo, like, can y'all fast forward paper? I feel like my kids are in danger. Like I'm feared for their life and all this other stuff. So they're trying to serve her with papers, can't find her. So they found out what county she was in. So they fast forward the papers over. Then they're trying to serve her in court. By the time they got to her, she ended up killing both of the kids and tried to kill herself. Oh, shit. So it's like, and then it's like, damn, like I kind of feel for him because like that could be the reality of my situation because like one, like she's lying and all this shit. She didn't lie to so many times. Like she didn't lie with the allegations. Then she lied and said that my daughter was in a car accident, was never in a car accident. So it's like me being real with y'all. So it's like I'm dealing with all this shit while still trying to maintain this shit over here, like on my wife. And it got to bad to where like, so they trying to stick these allegations. So boom, fast forward, my son's being born. And they telling me I can't be around him until they finish the investigation. I can't be around him, can't go home, can't do none of this shit until they done with the investigation. So I'm working with the detectives. So how she got caught up in the lie, and this is why I say the court system fucked a lot of people.
And this investigation is still circled around you sexually assaulting your daughter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even after the lie detector test. So then now CPS got to get involved, DHS, all these people got to get involved. So and like then they still trying to put me on the list. I'm like, no, like it's been unfounded. So how I got unfounded was I'm talking to the detective and I'm letting them know what's going on. I said the time she said I did the shit, I didn't even see my daughter. I never had my daughter or my son. So he like, wait, there's a whole nother kid involved? I'm like, yeah, like I have a whole, he's the oldest, he's the firstborn. Like, so then he went back and interviewed her, found holes in the story, so he dismissed the case. Then I get like the paperwork and saying like the shit they're saying, she's like, oh, he should be in jail, blah, blah, this, all this stuff. Her and her mom doing all this. So then now, this is when the shit gets sticky. Then I'm getting phone calls from whatever dude she talking about, oh, I'm beat your ass, blah, blah, this, all this stuff. So it's like,
see, man, I was waiting for just like another nigga to come into the story because somewhere in the story,
that's not even the only one. So it's a continuous thing. So then it's like like dealing with that. So then on top of that, dealing with that is like, that's why I say like suicidal is real in black men because like, and another thing to touch on base is like, so they have all these made up holidays, whatever, right now. So June, we know June as what, like Juneteenth, whatever, right?
Yep.
Now June has become Pride Month, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't know. That's nothing against like the LGBT community. I don't know if I'm saying the pronouns right or whatever.
LGBTQ, or something like that.
You got it.
It's like I don't have anything against them. My sister's a part of that. I had nothing but love for them people. But
yeah, absolutely.
We have all these months in the calendar year. But why do mental health men's month get overshadowed by Juneteenth and Pride Month? And it's crazy. So a lot of people don't even know that. A lot of people don't know that June is mental health
awareness month for black men.
Yeah, and I was doing the research. Yeah. So like I was doing the research or whatever, and the statistics is like high as fuck. So where's that? We don't get the notice because it's overshadowed by Pride Month and all that stuff. So I was like, I was doing the research. It was like, so there are 1.6 million men that attempt to try to fight for their lives every day, and you know how many men that have lost that fight? Like 525,000. So it's like men like
over 50%.
Yeah, commit suicide, and like 80. I think I want to say like 87% of that is of black people.
Wow.
So we make a majority of the population of suicidal, and that's every year.
Man, yo.
So it's like we're talking about mental health and shit like that. That's why when y'all asked me to come to the show, I was like, yeah, like I'm with this shit because like I'm dealing with all this shit on top of this shit. Then it's like, so like now it's become like doing all top of that shit. Then it's like that ain't even the fucked up part about it. The shit like with dealing with my daughter and shit like that. So then it becomes now therapists get involved. I done had therapists lie on me.
Oh,
Whatever in court, and the only reason how I got off of that is because like I recorded the whole conversation. And in the state of Nebraska, it's a one-party state, so it's like you don't have to have permission to record a conversation. And I'm telling my lawyer,
it's good to know
that I don't trust her, but they kept forcing me to go.
Keep your receipts. That's good.
All
That's good.
But
that's
in the
smart.
But in the court, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
For me being a black man, it doesn't matter.
the court can throw out whatever they want to throw out.
Yeah, and the whole time we're seeing this, we only went in front of a judge once. Everything else has been in front of a referee, so it's like. So fast forward, this is all this dealing with the first lawyer. Then I had to get rid of him because we going to court, forgot to serve her. So then I'm like, bro, like this is something serious. This is my daughter. And this is somebody who I consider a friend that I know from cutting their hair and stuff like that. This is somebody I consider a friend. So I'm thinking he gonna have my best interest. No. Then I find another lawyer.
Man, niggas get scary in front of you.
Find another lawyer. She didn't do shit. She just took me for all my money. Whatever. Didn't do shit. So then now I'm on my fourth lawyer.
Damn, and this is in the span of like what 2-3 years.
No, this is from a span. This started from 2017.
17, yeah.
All the way.
Like
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
okay. I didn't know.
I'm just like trying to like speed up. Yeah, I'm just trying to like speed it up.
Okay, cool.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So
that's
then,
still a short ass period of time for like 4 lawyers.
Yeah. So it's like I'm on my fourth lawyer. So this is the only lawyer I feel like that did anything. So I had. This is why I say it don't matter in court. So I had voice recordings. I had video recordings, text messages, pictures, witnesses. I done had a police officer testify. I done had a therapist testify. I done showed videos, text messages, pictures. Then like it got so bad to her one time. Like I'm just throw this in there. Like she even got like assault charges and stuff like that because her mom like physically like pulled the kids out of my car, all type of shit like shit like that. Then they dropped it down to a disturbing of peace. So like I'm doing all this shit in court for them to like just throw every fucking thing out.
Right.
So that's why I say like it's like mental health is real in the black community, and it all depends and it all stems from either like your kids or your family and stuff like that. Because, and that's why I say I thank my wife because going through all that shit, like without her like saying that like I think you should see therapy, yeah, and I said like without her saying like you should go to therapy, I don't think I would have made it. And then that's when my son's being born, and I was like, that's why I say like even though I may question God, like he always come through, and God knew what I needed when I had to birth my son, because like I feel like all my kids came like at a time where I needed them. And that ain't me like bashing my daughter with her, because I love my daughter. Like no, like can't like I could just pick up where we left off at. Like I love her, and even if she don't feel like that, like I tell her all the time, I was like, whatever you feel like, you can talk to me.
Right.
But I feel like my son came at the right time, right place, because I feel like if it wasn't for him, like I ain't gonna lie, like if it wasn't for him in like the village or whatever, like my bros talking me off the ledge and stuff like that, like honestly, I probably wouldn't be here. So like that's why like constantly like I hug my son, or I be telling him like thank you, like you came at the right spot, like you was the light I needed when I was in all this dark spot. So it was like like, but at the same time going through therapy, there was like she asked me a question. She was like what is the source of your happiness? And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, what makes you happy? And I was like, my kids make me happy. Like me see my kids' face, me being around my kids make me happy. She was like, no, what is the source of your happiness? My kids. She was like, no. She's like, the source of your happiness is not anything that anybody can take from you. So the simple fact that
I like that.
She was like, for the simple fact that if
I like that.
Your source of happiness is something that somebody could take from you, then you need to find a new source of happiness. So when she said that, that's when something clicked in my head.
I like that.
And then that's when I was like, okay, now you can't use the kids against me no more. So now it became from, you can't use the kids against me no more. So now it's like, oh, well, you don't care a fuck about your kids. I said, no, that's not true. I said, but I'm not about to keep going back and forth with you. I said, it takes too much time and anger to like be angry at you all the time.
Does that mean pretty much like, so people out there with kids, like a lot of people say my kids saved me.
Yeah.
So that's meaning like
what she alluded to.
Yeah. So that's pretty much saying like if you need your kids for your own happiness, then you had them pretty much for the wrong reason. Is that pretty much kind of what it's saying?
Kind of, and kind of not, because like
Not saying the person don't love their kids.
No. So they'll agree with you, like yeah and no, because like having kids is a blessing,
Yeah,
or whatever.
Not knocking
But not
that.
saying like some people do have kids for the wrong reasons,
Yeah.
or whatever.
But like if you having kids to fulfill your happiness, that's the wrong reason to have them.
Yeah, because like before I had kids, like I didn't really like. I find happiness in other stuff, but it's like
Yeah.
it took me being a parent. Like okay, like I could do this shit. Like I could do this dad shit. Like even till now, I feel like my son now, like my youngest, like 2 junior, like I feel like sometimes I feel like I don't even deserve him. Like I feel like by me going through all this shit, like with dealing with my daughter, mom trying to get custody of my daughter, I feel like I put him on the back burner. And then like that's why I feel like I'm not a good enough father for him, or I'm not the father that he needs, or I'm not the father that he deserves. And no matter how I feel, he looks at me like other than that, like I'm like dad, like your dad, like you're my best friend, like dad, I love you, type of shit. So like that's why like I like to this day, like I thank him, or I appreciate him, or like I'll tell my wife like, hey, I thank you, stuff like that. And it gets hard too dealing with when you have kids on the outside, because then sometimes like family, they have opinions and stuff like that, and then like they start to choose sides and stuff like that. So I had to tell everybody quick, like my wife is not the reason why I'm not seeing my kids. Let's just get that point clear, because it was the same thing when I was with my ex. When I got with her, I didn't see my kids. But I don't see how y'all don't see the pattern, because it's like when I'm not with anybody, I get them whenever I want to. When I'm with somebody, I stop seeing them, stop hearing from them like that, and I'm like telling them like, there's no reason why. Like, and I even asked her, I was like, whatever we got to do, I'll do it. Whatever. Like,
she wanted to have control of you.
Yeah, and that's the crazy part about it. So like we're trying to mature, or whatever. So recently, like we had a conversation on the phone. We down there had like a 2-hour conversation on the phone, and we're talking whatever. We're saying like, okay, like basically I'm going against my better judgment, because I know this woman. Like you already done broke my trust. You already betrayed me. You already lied to me. Like you already put me in situations to where like I almost had to fight people. Like deal with the law,
People
like
threatening you and shit.
People threaten me, family, all that type of shit.
Lies
So
and stuff.
I'm going against my better judgment. Like, okay, so for the sake of my daughter, I'm willing to bend over. Had a 2-hour conversation, saying what we was going to do as parents moving forward. Then we reiterate the same conversation to the kids, saying like, this is what's going to happen, blah blah this and blah blah this. And what fucked me up is like when we gave her like a deadline, and that deadline come, it's like now you want to flip script. Like you want to renege against you, and then it's fucked up because like my son, my youngest is 2. They still have yet to see their brother, been around their brother, talk to their brother, but their mom has a whole another child. So same situation, but in 2 different households. And that's where I'm like trying to get people to understand, like it's fucked up. Like how could they be receptive? Like this is an innocent child. Like they could be receptive of their sibling, which and I keep telling them like your sibling that you got at your house is no different than the sibling that you got over here. Like that's still your sibling. Like, and growing up from me being separate from my siblings, like I don't want that from any of my kids. And like I said, it's like maybe when y'all get older, y'all have kids, like y'all understand like what I'm dealing with, what I'm going through, and hopefully y'all don't have to deal with any of this shit. Like, I won't put that on any of y'all.
Yo, I just want to say, I applaud you. You strong, bro. You strong.
But yeah, I look like
that'll break a lot of people.
And
I don't even think I will be mentally strong enough to go through like to deal with all that.
And I don't even know.
And I feel like I'm a mentally strong mother effer.
So you know what? I feel like,
but I just want to give you your flowers real quick. I want to say, bro, you strong. I'm proud. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
We need more, you know, strong black men that's willing to actually put in the work and go get help, continue to fight for, you know, the right reasons. I just want to say thank you, because you can inspire a lot of people, and a lot of black men to want to do the same.
And you know what?
I just want to say, man, you strong, bro. You strong.
And you know what, man?
That's tough.
And you know what?
That's tough.
And it's like, you know, like having heard it, having like, you know, being prevalent to that information, right? See, now I'm kind of understanding the lines now between being like, you know, like intertwined with your emotional side, but still being a man,
Yeah.
and walking through shit. Because even through all of that, right, you still like you was able to express everything, like how you was feeling, even though it was difficult at the time, like extremely difficult. But you still had that. You still had that masculine energy, that toughness to be like, nah, I'm not giving up. This is for my son. This is for my daughter. This is for my family.
And
you see what I'm saying?
You know the crazy part about it? The stereotypical thing for us to do as black men is to just like not give a fuck. You don't know how many times I heard like, just act like you don't give a fuck. Like stop giving a fuck. Like just stop calling, stop texting. And I'm like, that's not me. That will work for y'all don't work me. And a lot of people like when they say that money is the root of all evil, like it kind of is in a sense of, because like a lot of dudes that deal with the shit I'm dealing with, they don't go through it or whatever because of money. So it's like if you have money that controls certain situations, you don't have to deal with certain things. So it's like, it's as fucked up as I sound. That's what I said. I was like, if I was a deadbeat, sold drugs, whatever, out in the streets, whatever, I wouldn't have no problems. It's
the same thing like what Biggie said when he made the song "Suicidal Thoughts," right? When he was like he wasn't contemplating suicide, but was like, man, if I was dead, I wouldn't be dealing with all of this shit, man.
Yeah, you start to think that shit.
If I was doing something else, I wouldn't be dealing with all that. If I wasn't trying to be a good father, or you know, I you know, maybe you know, all of this shit would be off my plate, you know, and in a sense, it's kind of like, you know, shit, let me just dead all these responsibilities and just look after myself, you know.
Do you blame a lot of people that decide to do that stuff?
To take their own life?
No, not take their own life, but just stop dealing with all of it.
No, because it's like the human could only withstand so much pain, endurance, internally, physically, mentally, and emotionally. So it's like I even stopped trying for a minute, and I was like, yeah, it kind of worked, but then it's kind of backfiring too.
You probably needed that break too.
Yeah, like, but then it got real to me when the therapist I was seeing, she was like, you have to let it go. And this is where God plays a part in it, because I was like, me doing my childhood, I feel like I never been in a position to just put shit in God's hands, because it's like I always feel like God has enough to deal with, so why you want to deal with my little problems? And it's fucked up like how that is. Like a lot of us only call on God when we're going through shit, and I didn't understand that until I started going through shit. So it's like, not saying that I didn't have a lot of faith in God, but it was like my faith was starting to get a little like questionable. Like I'm starting to lose faith.
So you're a real believer like now?
Yeah, much. Like he didn't show me. You know, at times like you get outside of your life, like, man, I don't know, like what the fuck God doing, like. Yeah. Like why me and stuff like that. So I had times where I just like questioned him or whatever, but as we all do, like that's just like you questioning your parents and stuff like that. You had times where you question them. And like there was a point in time in my life, like I questioned him, like when my grandma passed. Yeah. And I felt so bad to the point where like my grandma asked me, because my grandma played part in raising us, and I'm like, we was raised in like a 1-2 bedroom house, and there's like six, 7 of us. So I feel like when I got older, I feel like my thing for my grandma to do is give her a break, whatever, because she spent so much time raising us. So like before she died, because she died from like dementia and Alzheimer's and stuff like that. So she asked me, she was like, I just want to see my grandkids. Right. Remind you, she wanted to see like my son and my daughter. And I'm pleading with my mom, like, hey, like, my grandma, I don't know if my grandma gonna make it. Yeah. And it's crazy, like, the only picture that my grandma have of my daughter is when my daughter was like 3, and my daughter's 11 now. Wow. So she asked me, she was like, hey, like, I want to see my grandkids. So I'm dealing with all this shit going on in my head. Like I said, I'm having problems at home, having problems in the court, going to therapy like 4 times a week. Damn. Every week. So I'm going through my therapy session. Then I'm going through family therapy session with my daughter. Then I'm doing couples therapy, marriage counseling, and then we gotta do another session of therapy. So that's therapy. That's like four. That's like therapy. Like damn near like 8, 9, 10 times in a month.
So you really not being able to find time to like
for yourself.
Yeah, to like any leisure.
So I'm begging and pleading her like, hey, like, can you just bring them to my grandma's house? I don't know how long she's gonna make it. Like, she might not make it or whatever. Can you just bring her to my grandma's house? Like, I'll leave.
Right.
I'll make sure everybody leave as long as you bring them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Like, started like going off. Like, da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, I don't care about none of that right now. So then even my wife get on the phone like, hey, like, I know I'm not the person that you want to talk to right now, but like, he really going through shit. And this is on my day too. Like, my dad to go pick up my daughter. Remind you, I'm going to visitations. She's not letting her get out the car. She's locking the doors. She's parking far away. All type of shit. So, and I don't see how the court, and then when we went to court for this shit, they were saying like, it's not enough evidence. So even my lawyer looked at me and was like, I don't know what more fuck they want from you.
Yeah.
Like, you're done everything. So I'm begging and pleading. And so my grandma ended up leaving without even seeing my daughter or my son.
Mm.
Like, you know how hard that is for me, but then the fucked up part about it, they wasn't able to go to my grandma's funeral. But then when she thought that me and my wife wasn't together and we was taking a family trip to California, she let them go to California.
Because she thought y'all wasn't together.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying is like, that's why I said I don't agree with men when they fucking snap and kill it, but I understand why. Because one, like, they're begging and pleading her, and it's not getting through her. Two,
it's a lot.
They're going through the court system, and the court system failing us. The court system failed black men, or whatever, just men in general, but majority black men, because we're going in front of white judges, whatever. And it was only one white judge that I feel like had my back. Or whatever, and then she even told me representing myself, because a lot of the times where I had to stop calling my daughter, stop seeing my daughter, because every time they throw out her restraining order, she'll file another one. She filed an ex parte and a restraining order and all this other. So she said like domestic violence order, like all this shit. So ex parte is like if you have kids or whatever, and they're signed ex parte, that means you can't talk, call, see, or come around your kids until you go to court and fight the thing. So remind you, she like since 2017 up now, that was majority of the trial. And then COVID hit, so then that's a whole nother break. So it's like another process. So like the shit didn't get over until like last year or 2 years ago, and I'm still not able to see my daughter, talk to my daughter or my son. So it was like that. So when we talk about mental health, that comes from like upbringing, the stereotype, your friends, like a lot of that shit comes from like just like a product environment. So it's like I try to tell myself like I don't want to be a product of my environment.
Right.
So like I said, like when we was on the phone for 2 hours, like what changed? But then you're talking to my family and telling them all this other shit. That's not true.
Wow.
So it's like that's a lot for black men in that stigma, to where like they dealing with a lot of shit, but we don't talk about a lot of shit because like I said, like we get the rap for like we got to be strong all the time.
Yeah. And and we deal with some of the most hardcore shit, and I don't think people understand. And that's a real testament though to like to the strength. I'm not even gonna just credit black men, just credit black people for it too. And I'm just speaking for my people, right? Other people have they understands of their culture, so I'm not knocking their culture, but like people need to hear these type of things to have a perspective of like of for one, how good they got it right now, well, however their life is going. Right, but B, to have some guidance and to understand, like, you know what, it's not, like I said, having some acceptance, like it's not always my fault. I don't have to always feel like it's my fault, like I said, because even though the court is against me, even though my woman is against me, I can't see my kids, My family talking behind my back. I feel like I have nobody to go to. So then I'm starting to, I might begin to feel like, well, shit, is it really me? Am I really the fucked up person that these people saying that I am?
Yeah, you start to put that doubt in your mind. So it's like I said, like even with my son now, or my youngest, I feel like okay, maybe I am a deadbeat. Maybe I am all these things they say I am. Maybe I am I'm not a good son, or I'm not a good brother, or I'm not a good friend, and stuff like that. To where the point, like that, go back to what you said, like it's all about taking accountability, because like I didn't have friends who I didn't fell out, or people I considered friends at the time that I didn't fell out with because they didn't want to take care of their responsibility, and it pisses me off to where the point to where like some of these dudes take advantage of the fact that they're not around their kids. I'm like, you got a baby mama that ain't putting you through the shit I'm going through. So it's like, yeah, I get jealous, and then it also pisses me off because like everybody always say like what they would do when they're in a situation, when they're not in a situation. So like it'd be on Facebook,
it's easy.
So on like Facebook and shit like that, like they be having posted shit like that, talk about like about the subject. And it was like, oh, well, I don't want to hear that. If you ain't did this and you ain't did that, like I did this and did that. I'm like, but what you eat don't make me shit. So you don't know what avenues a person took. You don't know what help, seek that help. Like I said, I done went through 4 lawyers trying to get my kids. Yeah. And still nothing. Because like, and then like on top of that, like we didn't even go in front of a judge. We were in front of a referee. To where I feel like the referee wasn't even on my side. She wasn't hearing nothing I was saying. Didn't give a fuck. Or what? All she saw was that I was black and my baby mom was mixed, but she looked white. So they just saw a white woman. And I just hate to throw race in it, but that's what they saw. Then they saw her playing the victim song, like, oh, I want him to be around his kids, did this, some of that stuff. Like, bro, like I done been through the shit. Like I done been through shit. Like she didn't have her mom take the kids. I'm chasing her mom in the car, trying to get my kids. The police station like, oh, it's a civil matter, ain't nothing we can do. I done been physically assaulted with her, with my daughter in my hand, like type shit. Like I didn't even like have my wife, even my wife had a conversation with her multiple times. Told her like, look, I'm not here to replace you. I'm not here to take over your place. I can never be her mother.
To say that though.
Yeah, but see, and that's
only gonna piss the baby mom off even more.
No, but it comes from the sense of like, okay, that's how you know somebody really cares about the situation going on. Because if they wanted to take the higher road, and be like, hey, like, I'm willing to do whatever you can to see your kids. Yeah. So if I need to have a conversation with her, but the crazy part about it, they had a conversation with her. I thought it went okay. They did this in front of my daughter and my son. And when they go home, stop answering calls, stop answering texts. So I was like, so what was the conversation for? That was just a waste of time. Like, so now you just playing with people emotions and stuff like that. So it's like you playing victim, but then like when shit start coming to your door, then it's like, oh, you want to basically cry wolf, or you want to be a Karen and involve police and shit. That's not true. Like I couldn't even tell you how many like police reports she filed on me, and I beat them all. Some with a lawyer, some without a lawyer. Some I had like one of them I had to go in there by myself. Didn't know what the fuck I was doing, what the fuck I was saying, and like I had to test. The mom got on the stand, testify. So I'm like by myself, asking her questions. Like they're saying all this shit, like saying that your daughter's scared of you, your daughter don't want to be around you. Then she's telling police I whoop my kids. Then it got even far to where like, and that's why I said like. The shit that goes back to your question, like shit can go follow you throughout your childhood, because it's like we missing all this time and opportunity. So she might resent me for shit that her mom doing, because I didn't hear all the shit that she said, like, but I'm still trying to be positive. I done heard my daughter say like, I wish she was dead, like I wish she wasn't my dad no more, I wish I had no dad, I wish she was dead so you wouldn't quit calling. Like I heard all this shit, but I'm trying positive, like, oh, okay, I still love you. Like if I'm saying like the time I'm trying to be respectful, but I'm being bitter, so I'm being mad. Like if my mom was doing the same thing to me, I get why you're that mad. I'm gonna get why you mad. If my mom and my grandma was doing the same thing, I get why you mad. So I'm trying to be all positive, but you're allowing all this shit. But then when they act up, you want to call me to correct them. But me being the person I am trying to change, I'm still correcting them, because I'm trying to show them that like even if your mom's doing all this shit to me, don't mean I gotta do the shit back and keep it going.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, that's your mom. You better watch your mouth. Like, that's your mom. Do all this other shit. So like, we don't have a lot of that. We don't have a lot of that. So like I said, if it was for my brothers, like talking me off the ledge or whatever, being in my corner, going through like these trials, these trial dates, court dates with me, or my wife going through all these court dates with me, like, or like I said, my son, like, ain't no telling where I'll be at. Because I didn't even have this conversation with my family. I just told them, like, look, I thought about this. I thought about that. Thought about doing this. And they was like, oh, we all we got and stuff like that. But it's like, sometimes I don't feel that way. So it's like, when I go home, I look at my son all the time, like, thank you. Just pick him up, thank you. Or sometimes I just hold him, like, thank you. And it's like I said, like, when y'all have kids, y'all gonna know what I'm talking about.
Whew.
So it's like, yeah, that's a lot. So it's like, and that's what drives me to like want to start like try to set something up to where like put fathers who really want to fight for their kids in a position to where like, so I'm trying to start like a nonprofit or something like that, or see what I got to do, start a nonprofit. So like maybe like we can get like lawyers graduating and shit like that to like do shit on pro bono to fight for their kids, because like even though they said we have rights, they don't let us exercise our rights. Like,
we need more black judges.
Yeah, that too. But it's like even that, we just need right and wrong. We need judges that know right from wrong or whatever. Because damn, I forgot what I was about to say.
I'm following though. I'm picking up what you putting down.
I am too.
Yeah,
I'm
but it's
picking up what
like
you're putting down.
no, I was saying like we have a parenting plan. Don't follow it. A parenting plan takes place like you have all these set days, times, and stuff like that you call. You know, I ain't got my daughter, hold my daughter, seen my daughter physically in my care for like 6-7 years. The only time I had seen her recently was because I was going to a basketball game and I had to find out from other coaches or whatever like that. Then she's going around. Then I heard that she's going around telling people like, hey, like, yeah, Brooklyn dad, my daughter dad, he was on the list, whatever. He got caught doing this and stuff like that. He's doing it, like basically saying like the allegations still stick. And I'm like, bro, like to where like the coaches contacted me, say like, hey, like this is what she's saying about you, but I know better than that. I know you. Everybody know me.
Yeah.
So everybody know me, so they don't believe the shit anyway. But I'm like, what I gotta do? Like if I gotta show you the paperwork, I want to show you the paperwork. Like I don't have nothing to hide, because I'm like, I done that shit all I was a kid, like trying to hide shit. So you get older, it's like that's too much weight on your shoulders.
Yeah. Hey, nigga, you strong as fuck, bro.
That's what I was saying.
The sweater, hey, like really bad. So look, last point I want to make, you know, before we wrap this up.
Yeah, I ain't gonna take all y'all time.
No.
Like,
Hey, nah, bro. That was impactful. That was powerful.
Man.
This is
People gonna need that.
Yeah.
And this is like, I'm not saying that to like bash anybody. It's like this. I'm saying is like this is shit I'm going through. So it's like to let people know that like people that's watching this.
There's a lot of people out there that's going through.
Y'all not going through this, and hopefully like I can be the example of what to do, what not to do, or like you can feel like hey, like I know I'm not the only one. So there's hope, and like I said, I'm still going through the shit to this day. Like not seeing my daughter to where it's like it's still fucking with me, because it's like how it's like they're missing on opportunities to be a part of this family. And like I said, like I'm building this foundation of this family so they can feel comfortable. And like I said, like I know it's gonna take time to repair a bridge that I didn't burn.
Yeah.
So in the process, I didn't compromise, I didn't overcompromise, I didn't been over like all this stuff trying to cater to everybody's feelings but mine. That's why I said, like, as a parent, you spend your whole entire time and entirety trying to be the hero in their eyes, only for somebody else to paint you as a villain in their eyes and story. So I was like, and that's what I said. I made a post with her. So I told him, I was like, if that means that I'm taking all the punches so you don't have to feel them, I'm crying all the tears so you don't have to cry, so yours stay dry, I'm getting all the dirt thrown on my name so yours stay clean, then if that's what it takes to protect y'all, I'll be the villain all day. I'm Joker all day. Because I don't mind. But I know at the end of the day, like, there's going to be a time where you're going to want to know the truth.
Right.
Man, the last thing I want to say is to the importance of a father figure, especially in a black household, is so overlooked. and a lot of people don't, or forcefully fail to realize how important it is. And it's sad. I feel like it's sad. It's sad.
But all that comes from back in, like he said, like when he brought up the slave shit.
Yeah.
Like all that shit comes from the slave thing because they put fathers in a predicament. That's why I said the system's not built for us. So even back then when it wasn't a court system, so like
a lot of their kids got taken away.
It's kind of fucked up because so like we're on a plantation or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. They have these little cabins, whatever. They build these things or whatever. Like, so we're having all these families. So the purpose of having these families is more workers for the slaves. So then they're trading the fathers, they call it mandingos or whatever. They trading them. Yeah. They trading them. They ship them off, whatever. So that's when the single mother household comes into place, and it repeats itself. So that's where like the single
that's
parent.
The root of all this.
That's the root of all this. Mm-hmm. So when you get that and it keep playing it over and over and over, like it falls to a day. That's why they always say history repeats itself. And even to play on that, like the situation is like your mom did it to your dad, you're trying to do it to me, and like I tell them, like as fucked up as it sound, I said I hope my daughter don't turn into be the bitch that you are, and I hope my son never find a bitch like you, because you in the Bible they say you reap what you sow. So if my son is going through all this, you're going to have a fucking fit. And I don't want my daughter doing this to somebody else's son either. So it's like, that's why I'm trying to correct. That's why I said all daughters need their dad, because I have a cousin, little baby cousin. She died not knowing her father. She didn't even hit teenager years. So she passed away. That's what I said, all these kids passed away. See, my sister, she lost her dad growing up. So, and the fact is, like, I don't know, I'm saying this, whatever, I'm like, it's a flashback, but my child's mother, she lost her dad too. So it's like, if you lost your father and you have a father trying to be for a kid, why would you want that same fate for your own child? I said, because God forbid, if something happened to me, then how would you feel?
Right.
Like, why would you want to wait till the last minute to try to make a relationship work?
People realize things when it's gone.
Yeah, I said, now if I'm dead and gone, then what? Mm-hmm. So it's like, you never know what, that's what I say, you never know what could happen.
No, yeah. 100%.
Out of nowhere. And like I said, it's like people dropping like flies. Like, I just lost my grandfather. Yeah. And so like my grandma on my dad's side, that's the only grandparent I have left. Mm-hmm. So it's like they all this time going by and they don't know anybody. They don't know their grandparents. And so like I kind of feel like I can't tell her that my daughter's feelings not validated, because your feelings is validated because you feel like that.
I blame the mom.
Yeah, but it's like, but I had, and part of that, there is blame there, but I had to take accountability because like the behavior before that, I allowed it to happen for so long until I was like, okay, this is enough. Because then that's when I realized, like, just because I have a kid with you, I don't have to be with you. Yeah, but in the process of that mindset. In the process of that, I had to take accountability because I allowed it for so long. But at the same time, I'm not accountable for. I can't control nobody's actions, can't control nobody's feelings and stuff like that. So that's why I say that nobody's responsible for how somebody will feel. You may reciprocate of each other, but like far as like I can't. That's like in relationships, like that insecurity word get thrown around. I feel like you can't be insecure in your new relationship that you had in a past relationship, because there's nothing in my past relationship that can make me insecure in this relationship. Like, it has nothing to do with what I'm insecure with her about. It has nothing to do with you, because she's not the reason why I don't trust you in this relationship. You're the reason why. So it's like, like that's why I said, like, go back to the parents thing. Like when you said like something about like, do you think that the kids could talk to their parents? The parents have to be willing to be open-minded, accept and take accountability of what the child is saying.
What if they're not?
It's not gonna work though. Like you can hear it like that, because like we all deal with it. I deal with my parents or whatever like that. I deal with my mom, deal with my parents, whatever like that. And my daughter's dealing with me. But my difference between me is like, I always tell my kids, like, whatever your feelings are always validated. Your feelings, I'm always gonna listen to your feelings. Okay. Yeah. Whether I feel like they're right or wrong, but I can't tell you that your feelings are not your feelings. Mm-hmm. I have to be willing to accept, and that's what I say. Like, it took me having a daughter, realizing that I gotta watch how I talk to females. I gotta watch watch what I say to females, and I'm raising a boy and a girl. So it took my daughter saying like yelling at her mom, being toxic, arguing, yelling. I'm a man, so my boys travel. It took her saying like that I was scared. So hearing your daughter say that, like, Dad, you're scared, I was like, okay, like now, or hearing your ex saying like, oh, you're very verbal abusive, like it makes you aware to certain shit to where like now you gotta watch how you say. So it's like now I don't argue. So I'll get smart every once in a while, but it's like I don't argue like I used to. Like just say like, because the point of an argument is to say the hurtful shit. It's like a debate, like say the hurtful shit. Yeah. But now it's like, all right, you got it. I'm gonna chill out. Like you got it, you can have it, because there's no point. So it's not like now I feel like I've done a lot of growth to where like that, because like I said, like me and my baby mama, we got into it, whatever, because like she reneged on something that she said. So instead of cussing, yelling, arguing, going back and forth, I said, I'm not even gonna argue with you. Like there's no point. Like, but what you're not gonna do, you're not just gonna disrespect me by hanging up on me. So like it is what it is. I said what I said. Like I'm trying to compromise to where like they don't have to come over Saturday night. Like they can just come over, chill, hang out. When they're ready to come home, I'll take them home, because I know that it's gonna take time. Like a lot of this shit's gonna take time, because I'm trying to undo the damage that I didn't do. Yeah. And that's what a lot of fathers deal with. That's like what a lot of men deal with. And so it's like you have all this shit on top of you. And like I said, like far as like music reference, that's like you said, like music help you deal with shit. Like while they help me deal with shit, like a lot of people help me deal with shit. That's like while they said like I feel like Quasimodo all the shit on my shoulders. Like cause shit start getting heavy, and then my knees on the ground, don't break, Lord please help me, Father. So it's like you saying all this shit, like that's why I'm saying like music, like you said, like I agree with you, like music help you get through a lot of shit. Yeah, music helped me a lot.
Man, just powerful shit, man. Powerful shit. Right, get your mind right. Conversation. Last thing, man. So you mentioned earlier, right? Your therapist mentioned. She said, you know, what she said. What is your source of happiness, right?
Yeah, she was like, "What is your source of happiness? Like, if your happiness is something that anybody could take from you, then that's not your real source of happiness. Like, you need to find a new source of happiness."
So, how I interpret that as some sort of discovering some sort of inner peace, within you. And I'm here to ask, like, have you been able to find like that inner peace? That inner comfort, that you know that, hey man, this is my destiny. I know what I'm here to do. I understand what my purpose is, you know, and I'm comfortable with the man that I am. Is that something that you found through all the commotion and the chaos?
I would say it's kind of like I feel like sometimes I feel like a recover addict or whatever, something like the sense of, because sometimes I feel like that, okay, like, yeah, I'm cool today. That's just like he said, like sometimes he's like, I'm cool, I can deal with this shit. But then it's like there's certain things that trigger. So like, for instance, like just this past weekend, whatever, I went on a family trip. So we're all together on a family trip, and people started to notice things like, hey, like what's wrong with Torian or whatever. And it's not so that I'm mad at anybody. It's the simple fact that like seeing my brother with all his kids there, seeing my other brother with all his kids and his kids, kids, and it was like everybody had their kids where it was like, damn, like I wish that all my entire entire family could be here. But because other people's egos is like my kids had to miss out on opportunities like this because of bitterness, jealousy. And they always say like misery loves company, but I'm not the company that misery is gonna keep. So it's like I'm not about to keep catering to her. So it's like I'll check on them, don't get no text back, okay, cool, whatever. But don't say I didn't try. So it's like that's why I went back to saying that my daughter's valid feelings, but your feelings toward me is invalid because I've been pushing for you to come around. I've been pushing for you to be around your brother. I've been pushing for you to go on trips. I just even been pushing on you just like go to like family like get together, stuff like that. Like and my pitch to them the whole entire time is like whenever you feel like you're ready to go, I will take you home. I'm not forcing you to stay.
Yeah.
Until we get to that point to where like you want to stay. So it's like I'm dealing with all this shit against the wall. So like I said, it's like I'm still dealing with it today. So it's like sometimes it's like I kind of like relapse and I just get mad, I get upset and get angry. But on the bright side, it's like everybody's not gonna root for you. Everybody's not gonna be in your corner. Some people gonna try to put their lifestyle on you and want you to like live all this do single shit, but you're not single or whatever. So it's like I can't do that. I said because in a perfect world, I won't be going through this shit. But at the end, you have to think of the reality of the situation. So that is like y'all had kids or whatever by different people, and so you got to figure out how to balance that. And that's what I have yet to figure out because it's like I'm going to make somebody mad, whether it's me upsetting myself or me going to spend time with my daughter and my kid, and then
That's life.
Yeah, and then that's me taking time away from my other family, who I should be able to put that all over here.
Yeah.
With them spending together.
Right.
And that's the toughest thing because like then it's over here. It's like the thing is now is that my daughter has to be comfortable, which I'm all for her being comfortable. Well, my thing is like if you don't put her in situations to where she has to figure out how to be comfortable, she's never going to be comfortable. So if so the thing was that she had a deadline and she's going to come over, translators to come over. So if she never comes over, she never come around with her brother, never come over to this house that we have built for her and her brother, for them to be a part of this other family, outside of the family she got with her mom, whatever. So what does the probation look like? So what does that look like for her to get comfortable? If we let her decide, she's 11. One, she should not be deciding anything. She's 11. So if, not saying that she can't talk to me about how she's feeling about certain things, but like something like that of that detrimental, like she shouldn't be deciding. So it's like, what does that look like? So is it a week from now she's going to be ready? Months from now? Years? Till she's 18 or whatever? So it's like, with that being said, it's like, what does that look like? And that's what I'm trying to, then I'm asking that to everybody, like they can never give me an answer. So like and that's what anybody, and it's not just this, like, if you don't put yourself in uncomfortable situations, how are you going to adapt and how are you going to get comfortable to be comfortable? And that's something that, like, just like you said earlier, that's something that you had to deal with where you feel uncomfortable. You're like, no, that ain't for me. But eventually you found a way to like, okay, like, in order to move light, I have to be uncomfortable to adapt to know my surroundings and to be comfortable. And then you face that on your own. And you was able to succeed in that. So that's why all I'm trying to get with them is like, you have to be in uncomfortable situations.
Okay. Man, look, I'm gonna speak on behalf of the homie here as well. Listen, having heard all that, having heard, experienced this, and you telling your story and shedding some light on some issues that other people could be possibly going through. I stand here and I say today, man, that I feel like, you can, because you say you're still going through, you're still taking on some of these hits. I honestly feel like I say, I'm speaking on behalf of the bro, that we both feel like, bro, you're gonna get through this shit. I feel like we both feel like, you got what it takes.
You came this far
to conquer the dragon that's in front of you right now. So if you didn't have anybody telling you that right now, I want to be the first. We want to be the first to tell you that we got faith in you, that you gonna succeed in whatever you feel like your life purpose is. We have faith that you're gonna succeed in it, man, because like you said, you made it this far. You was able to come here and confidently explain and open up to us, because like we cool, but we not family and stuff like that, but you felt comfortable enough to be like, I want to tell this story. This is important to me. This means something to me, which is why I wanted you on here in the first place, because I knew this was something that was important to you. This has nothing to do with us. This is all for you, for you to be able to educate a lot of people, to just bring awareness, to bring a different perspective on things that people might not have. So I feel like, bro, you gonna get through it, man. It's a bright light on the other side of that gate.
It definitely is.
You're on a tough mission, but it's gonna be a worthwhile mission that you.
It's a lot of gold. It's a lot of gold on that side for you, bro.
Yeah, but it's like I said, like I feel comfortable with y'all. So like I don't like, we're not family, like we are a family in such a way, because like for y'all to allow to open up y'all platform, to bring me onto y'all platform, and then this is a serious topic, like serious discussion that's really one of the things that's like bringing down our community back, because it get frowned upon because we all have to be tough. And so it's like what y'all bringing me on here, and me, like I said, I'm not a professional. I can only tell you my testimony, what I'm going through, and the things I'm trying to change, and me being an example of what to do or what not to do. And for y'all to bring me on y'all platform to share that, like I appreciate y'all, because y'all could have had anybody else, whatever. So, and then I will say this, like to whoever's watching, like if you dealing whatever you dealing with, like whether you dealing with mental illness, like depression, suicidal, whatever you dealing with,
any,
you feel like
any stress, any type of stress,
anything like trauma, like I'm telling you, like talk to somebody, whether like even if you don't seek professional help right away, like talk to somebody, because you never know. And to touch base on this, like it goes so far to where like it like that shit, if you don't talk to somebody, that shit go down to our kids, because like I just want to touch the topic on this before we leave. Like that, just like the whole situation that happened in Northwest, like with the kid.
Oh,
the kid,
they got shot.
Yeah, that was fucked up on both parts. But me watching that, it's like you never know what somebody going through. And I said that before they even,
the kid was getting
and I said that. I was like, I feel sorry for both families involved, but I said this looks like a form of bullying. And then when they asked him, they was like, why did you do it? He was like, I was getting bullied and I didn't have no other avenue. So like, and they don't take this shit serious at all. And that's something that could have went two ways. It could have went the way that it went, or it could have went this kid taking his life. Yeah. So it's like you never know, and that's why I try to instill with my kids, like the world is already ugly enough. Like you don't have to be ugly in it, or like you never know by you saying hi to somebody or you saying what's up to somebody, you could have saved their life. Yeah, you could save their life. So it's like if whatever y'all dealing with, like I said, like I told you earlier, I may look like I got it all, but I don't. Yeah. Like, and that's the biggest thing in the black community. We all look like we got it, but we don't. Like talk to somebody, like speak up, talk to somebody, like whether that's your girlfriend, your wife, your significant other, your boyfriend, your family, your mom. And then like even if they don't want to hear it, or like I said, like me being a barber field, like a lot of people talk to me. Yeah. Or whatever. So barber talk. Yeah. So it's like I just want y'all to like get the help that y'all need to get, like talk to somebody. Like just if y'all don't do it for anybody, do it for me. Do it for us. Please like talk to somebody.
You know what? And one last thing, Cause one thing I've been noticing, and I want to bring up, is that we always people always promote talk to somebody, reach out to somebody. But another thing I want to promote is, and this is a very hard thing to do with just because of human nature. But like I want to promote more people to, instead of encouraging the people who are going through stuff to talk to somebody, encourage like the other person to seek communication. Right, to want to listen. Like we gotta start promoting people to want to listen, and hearing people's hearing, like being more receptive to people, and just keeping an open mind to people. Because because you could tell me to talk to somebody all day, but if everybody I'm going to isn't receptive, and they just like, oh nigga, you'll be all right, you tough nigga, go ahead nigga,
And that's what the fuck I hate, because it's like, because they're not going through it, so they make jokes of the shit. They're like, oh, like, oh, you'll tough it out, or go smoke some weed, go drink this. Is like that doesn't do anything. So that's like that's good. That's a good thing that you brought up.
I want to promote that. People, I want to promote listening.
Yeah, people need to when people talking to people, they need to listen to hear and not listen to reply. Yeah, like just listen, like talk, just be an ear. Like sometimes, like even with dealing with relationships, like sometimes, like me dealing with my wife, like I might not want to hear this shit, but it means way more to her, me just being a listening ear. Just being like, even if she yelling at me for some shit, I'm like, okay, I'm listening. Like she might not think I'm listening because of my demeanor, but I'm listening. So it's like yeah, you chewing me out. I don't really like what you're saying, but I'ma listen because this is how you feeling.
Yeah.
And that goes with anybody. Like anybody in any situation that you're dealing with. And that go back to saying a lot of parents don't deal with that. And that's why I said like it's hard. And that's why we have a lot of kids in jail, a lot of kids that's in the street, a lot of kids that's in the streets or doing all this other stuff because their parents don't listen.
Yeah, and that's like I said, that's the one thing, because that's the one thing I really want to promote. I want to promote more people to listen and communicate and be open-minded and be receptive to just what people have to say. You know, because we can't talk to a brick wall. Brick wall is not gonna do nothing for us. So yeah, absolutely, man. So boy, man, Taurean, bro, I really, I mean, we really appreciate you being
Thanks
here,
for that, bro. I appreciate it.
Man,
Bro.
I appreciate y'all. Like I said,
really, bro.
I appreciate y'all. And like I said, like this No Fear podcast. So I even had the mindset of just coming here and be like, okay, this is No Fear podcast. So I can't have no fear, like talking about my truth, whatever. And like I said, like I really fuck what y'all doing. Like, it's not just like a podcast where like y'all just simply talk about one thing. Y'all really like concerned about the culture and what's going on, even within our culture and outside
everything
of our
culturally
culture.
relevant. And
Yeah,
important,
so y'all even touch base on other cultures and how it relates to y'all culture. So like
Yes,
I fuck with what
100%.
I really fuck with y'all. What y'all doing?
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely,
Thanks,
bro.
bro. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. I mean, you came here, you gave us a great time.
I learned a lot.
Yeah,
I learned a lot from y'all, and like it's like a age difference, but like age ain't nothing but a number. So you can learn from. I'm learning shit every day. I just learn shit about you, shit about you, like learn shit about the lady behind the camera, shit like that. So it's like I'm learning everything, and just being under this, like this is my first time being on a podcast. So it's like it's everything what I expected and more. So
that's what's up. That's what's up,
man. Well, thanks for coming, man. I'm glad you came.
Thanks for
we want
having
you to
me.
come on again.
I would definitely be back.
absolutely.
Expect Taurean to be back.
I would definitely be back.
This was educational for me. So
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
And I'm really serious about talking to somebody. Like, seek help if y'all really need it. Like, even if y'all comment, whatever. Like, even if y'all want help in the comments, like, I'm pretty sure that we'll comment, whatever y'all need help, whatever. But like, there's numbers out there that you can guys call, whatever. Like, like you're here for a reason. So it's like, just talk to somebody.
Man, the wisest words ever spoken, B. So yeah, like we said, man, this was an amazing episode, man. We appreciate the both for being here. First annual guest. This is one for the books for us. Expect bro back again. Great conversation. Hope you guys, enjoyed it as well. Please, everybody, like, comment, subscribe, share, everything, man. We love y'all. Stay fearless. Peace.
Yep.